chat
stuff
it
we've
up a
got
little
going
bit.
on.
My bag in the back. It's all,
Oh, okay.
right. It's about, the thing is, you have to give them it has to be the other way around, like that cover. Send it, it's so easy. Like, me here is the first thing I thought. It's not here.
That looks great.
So this is all I really know about the event. Is
Oh, yeah,
that
the pie
noon is
eating.
the doll carriage and bike parade, or what we might start calling the push, pull, and pedal. Because I think that sounds better than doll.
Yeah. Come on
Pie
down.
eating, and then Abraxas, which is a Santana cover band. Abraxas.
Okay.
With it's Ed and Ed Antonelli.
So should I say like, come on down, I'm eating the dog houses, decorations, pie
You guys
eating
can
contest? Is there a certain time they should sign up?
They can I think sign up right up until or sign up as soon as you can.
So-
Like it fills up fast. And they sign up at the bridge. Was there something wrong with the camera?
fuel time on Mass Avenue. Everybody decorate their bikes, their doll carriages. We can have a nice little parade starting at noontime.
Now we're at Main Street at 70.
At 1 o'clock this afternoon on our stage, we're going to have our annual pie eating contest. There are 3 groups. Group 1 is 7 to 10-year-olds. Group 2 is 11 to 16-year-olds. And Group 3
We
is
were at the
17
community
years
meeting about
and up.
Stevens Estate. Oh my
You
God.
need to register
That was the first town
at the
meeting we've ever
information
been to.
booth
Wow.
at the beginning of the common as you walk
Get
in.
heated. I'm like,
You need to register at this.
So probably our most treasured ceremony, the 4th of July. It has other names too as well, but I think more than anything else, we're just here to enjoy. We have some people this morning that we're going to interview, and I think I'll take a moment to talk about the flavor of what this has been all about. Many years ago, we had 2 people that were. I lost my train of thought, but anyway, that's okay. I wanted to read something that was written by John Adams in reference to his reaction to the signing of the Declaration of Independence. John wrote his wife, Abigail, that it will be celebrated by succeeding generations as the great anniversary festival and go throughout the world or the United States in celebration thereof. A very special event. But he had a different feeling about, did you know, that he thought that July 4th should really be celebrated on July the 2nd. And the reason for that was the ratification initially of our Constitution. And he always kind of resented the fact that they decided on July the 4th instead. I hope that's enough of an explanation and we can go on to other things from here. It's a beautiful day today. The common is outstanding. Greenery in every direction. The rainfall that we had makes everything so green you cannot believe it.
Oh, yes. It looks beautiful.
We have a young lady here that I'm going to talk to in a moment, and she's going to fill us in on some of the things that have been going on at our local school. I have an affinity for art programs. She has had in the past an outstanding program that she has offered, and she has commented about others that are providing much the same thing. On that note, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Kathy Duran. I'm here with Lester on this beautiful 4th of July. Hopefully if you're at home and you're looking for something fun to do today, come on, join us down the common. There's so many things going on here. There is a nice breeze on the common today too. At noon, they're going to have what we call the push, pull, and pedal. So come on down with your kiddos, bring their bikes, bring their wagons, bring their doll carriages. You can decorate them. And they can ride down the street and have a nice parade for us. So that will be wonderful for the children to come and join us with that. At 1 p.m. we have our pie eating contest. I believe it is blueberry pie. So come on with your appetite. Come and eat some pie. You do have to register for that, which you can register here at the bridge, here at the Common. If you are under 18, you do need parent permission also, so bring your parent with you and come have some pie eating contest fun. Also at 2:30 we have a cover band. It's called Abrex. I hope I said that right. It's a Santana cover band. It's with Ed Antonio from North Andover School of Music, and they come to all the festivals and showcase their music and a lot of their students' music. So come on down and join the festivities. We have lots of local artists here. There's food and friendship. So come and join us here at the North Andover Common.
This is a fantastic outline that you've already kind of examined, put forth, and I hope entice all of us to come on down and enjoy a very, very special day. And I was going to ask you, how long have you lived here in the community?
Well, I moved here about 12 years ago. I think it was about 12 years ago.
Now,
Here
I
in North
understand
Andover.
you taught for the school system?
Yeah, I work in a school as a TA. I was a lunch lady. I've been a crossing guard. I volunteer at the North Andover CAM. Any other little activities I can get my hands on. So yeah, I enjoy doing
I
stuff.
think your enthusiasm is infectious.
Oh,
and
thank
as
you.
always, I like to be very complimentary.
Thank you. Thank you.
And what is the one thing that's outstanding that is in your memory that you would describe as part of the personality of our town?
I just say community. This common here, I didn't utilize it as much when I first moved here. I didn't realize all the things, but all the different things that happen here on this common. Just from meeting a friend to go for a walk, to the fall festival, to the sheep sharing, to all the different activities. I just started coming to the summer workout things too, so they have the Zumba. So this common is what commons from towns are used for. A meeting place, a gathering place for community. So, and I see this common used for the tree lighting. So it's always being used to bring the people of the town together to celebrate and be together, from the children of the school singing to the Rotary to the festival committee. Everybody comes together and can have a good time together.
I know last night, my wife, we watched the fireworks from right close at hand. Of course, I was eaten alive by all the mosquitoes. I've been itching ever since. But even so, it's kind of it's part of that town and community spirit that we have. And if you saw the streets right around where the fireworks were, there were cars everywhere. You would think was special.
Oh yes, they come early, they park their cars, they set up their blankets at the middle school, at the Kittredge school, on the other side. They have picnics, the kids all get together, they play, the adults conversate. So it's a meeting, you know, a lot of community getting together to celebrate the 4th of July.
One of the things I'll pass on is information for yourself and the viewers at hand. Initially, the fireworks were part of, in I think it was 1787,
Okay.
Philadelphia set aside a program in the evening involving, fireworks.
Okay.
And what they did was they wanted to illustrate the 13 states.
Okay.
So they had, 13 salvos, so to speak. And on that note, it caught on with the other communities and became what we have today, which has become fireworks in the evening.
Yes.
As kind of standard of fare.
Yeah.
That was-
Fireworks and 4th of July go
Right.
hand in hand.
They come together and what is it? Picnics in the afternoon.
Yes, definitely.
And that's it. You were telling me a little bit about an individual that's with our school system that has a really outstanding art program. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah, I was working with an art teacher this year, and she
What's
was
her
a
name?
Miss Flaherty, and she was a first-time art teacher at our school, and she just did so many interesting projects with the students, and it was just so welcoming to have her come to our school and do therapeutic art with the children, and all the children just enjoyed coming to art class and hands-on and making things that they could bring home and use. And she was really into the recycling of products, and it was just very interesting.
You were describing one of the projects. I thought that was fascinating too. Could you elaborate on that for us, for our viewers?
Sure. We made like a door hanger license plate for their rooms, and we just used recycled boxes from the school, and the kids wrote their name in glue, and then they put aluminum foil over it and painted it, and it was a door hanger for their room, so the children learned about recycling and useful products.
Now,
Okay.
latest communique, right?
Yes. We were rolling a tour of our new studio in a little while, so you guys can learn about the new studio, which is located on 70 Main Street here in North Andover. And if you haven't come to visit it yet, come on and check it out. There's so many different programs for all ages to come and join us and be part of the North Andover community television.
My reaction.
We're rolling to the clip. Okay. Nope.
North Andover CAM has been serving this community since 2004, and now, 15 years into our story, we have moved to a new facility which will allow us to bring even more to you. Construction began late last year at the site of the old Brad Street School at 70 Main Street. Walls went up, wires went in, and the furniture and equipment followed shortly thereafter. In March, the new facility went live, and North Andover CAM is now operating out of this space, 70 Main Street, Suite 202. This is our office area. It is where our 3 full-time employees and our crew of interns do their daily tasks. As you pass the staff and intern desks, you'll see the office of our executive director on the right, and on the left is our conference room. This spacious meeting area is used by North Andover CAM personnel, but it's also available to be used by local groups and nonprofit organizations. It comes equipped with a large table, a conference speakerphone, and a smart TV, onto which presentations can be cast remotely. And through this door is the production side of our new facility. It starts out with our new kitchen, which we set up to do cooking programs. It's no mere set piece, though. It's a fully functional kitchen with a cooktop, conventional and microwave ovens, and a bevy of items to help get through any recipe. Further down the way is our editing area. Most of the programs you see here on our CAM channels are recorded in the field using portable cameras. That footage is then brought back to the studio and edited using one of our editing stations. Over here you'll see our 2 standalone editing stations. These are used by our volunteers to finish their productions from the field. And then there's our complete edit suite, in which team editing projects as well as voiceovers and even podcasts can be done. This suite includes a 55-inch program monitor and a pair of wall-mounted speakers for a more complete overall analysis of the project's video and audio quality. All of our edit stations are Mac-based and use the apps from the Adobe Creative Cloud, such as Premiere Pro, Photoshop, After Effects, and Audition. Further down is our master control room. This is the room from which most of what you see on our CAM channels originates. A bank of computer servers runs a constant stream of programs and bulletins, which is then seen on our 3 channels. We now head back a little bit to give you a look at our control room. Unlike the master control area, which controls the output of our facility to our cable providers, this room allows us to control what's going on in the studio. The 2 rows of consoles are set up for a variety of different crew positions and tasks. The front row is where most of the technical equipment resides. On the left is the teleprompter station. Scripts are transferred into this computer and then displayed on the prompter units with the cameras in the main studio. The middle station is for the technical director, who performs most processes involved in the production, including the switching of video sources, incorporation of pre-recorded content known as roll-ins, and the adding of graphics and/or special video effects. The audio and media station is on the right. It is where the audio mixer is located. This is where all the microphone and other audio sources come in and are mixed together to provide the final audio for any project. In addition, this station also houses the media players and recorders needed for such a complete production. And now, the last part of our tour, the jewel in our crown, the main studio. This new studio area is twice as big as our North Andover High School studio. It's equipped with 3 studio cameras, teleprompter screens, and a new lighting grid. The new LED-based lighting grid is not only much more energy efficient, but can also be adjusted to use multiple colors. This results in much more flexibility for producers regarding the look of their program. And this has been your virtual video tour of the new North Andover CAM facility at 70 Main Street. Like what you see? Talk to us about how you can get involved. Call our office at 978-687-6570. Or, better yet, come by and visit us. We're on the second floor in Suite 202. Visit us soon and see what we and what you can do for our viewing community.
Hello, coming live again from North Andover Common. Happy 4th of July. Lots of things going on here at the Common today. Also, the festival committee has a raffle going on. There's two different raffles. There's a free raffle from the Jade in the Mills. It's a new restaurant here in North Andover, and they are giving away coupons for 4 different meals. So come on down, put your name in for some free meals at the Jade restaurant here in North Andover. They are at the Mills. Also, Stop and Shop has a gift bag raffle, and that is a fundraiser through the festival committee, and that helps us do the festival run all of these great activities that we have here in North Andover. So the raffles for that would be $2 for 1 ticket or $5 for 3 tickets, and they are also right at the bridge next to the North Andover community tent. So if you're feeling lucky today, come on and try your luck at some raffles. And on to Lester. He's going to give us a little history about 4th of July.
Actually, I don't know how much I can do, but I have to say that initially, 4th of July was not a national holiday, but it was adopted very early by Massachusetts as, you know, as such, dedicated to the Declaration of Independence, which has been so significant and such a turn in history. One of the things that, you know, is kind of interesting is the fact that we, as a nation, did not adopt a holiday until 1941. That's in my lifetime, may not be in some others. But I have to say that I was amazed by this as well. Another thing that's kind of interesting, we granted independence to the Philippines finally, and they wanted to tie in July 4th as a significant day for them as well. So I just add a few of those things as a little color and a little background. And on that note, we're going to go back to this wonderful lady that's going to tell us a little more about the announcements of the day.
Okay, some more announcements. If you are looking for some family fun activities, come on down and we have the push, pull, and pedal. Come on down with your bikes, your doll carriages, your wagons, decorate them, and have some fun right here off of the Common. We're going to be doing that this afternoon at 12:30. And at 1 o'clock, if you are in the 12 o'clock for the dolls, sorry, 12 o'clock. 1 o'clock, if you're up for some pie eating, come on over to the bridge and you can sign up to join in on our pie eating contest. And there are prizes also, so come in and see if you want to earn some prizes for eating some pie. What's better than pie on 4th of July?
Especially smeared all across your face.
Oh yes, you can get a little messy. They actually provide some aprons and bibs and stuff to protect you. They're also having a cover band at 2:30, so come listen to some local artists. The North Andover School of Music has a cover band, Abrix. It's a Santana cover band, and North Andover School of Music teaches all kinds of music to all different students of all ages in the community. So come and listen to them and their music and enjoy some fun family times here at North Andover Common. Yes.
On that note, I think what we're going to do is switch to Irina Grasso, and she's going to tell us a little bit about what's going on with the Senior Center, which is also a part of our programming. We have a lot of seniors in this town, over 6,000. And we do have a program that kind of illustrates some of the things that go on here. Myself, for instance, I walk the Common every day and hope that others will join us as well. And it's called our walking program. And if you would like, certainly join us in this regard. We're going to break now so that we can hear from Irina Grasso and the North Andover Senior Center.
Independence Day, the 4th of July, is a federal holiday in the United States, commemorating the Declaration of Independence of the United States on July 4th, 1776. It was then declared that the 13 American colonies were no longer under British control, but were now united, free, and independent states. We all associate this day with fireworks, parades, barbecues, carnivals, fairs, picnics, concerts, baseball games, family reunions, political speeches, ceremonies, and other public and private events celebrating the history, government, and traditions of the United States of America. I'm Irina Grasso, and I'm here to tell you all about the events going on at the North Andover Senior Center in July. News, updates, and announcements. The COA board meeting will be held on Tuesday, July 9th at 9 a.m. The center will be closed on Thursday, July 4th and Friday, July 5th for the Independence Day weekend. Don't miss these events. The Tuesday dinner night party buffet, sponsored by Ashland Farms, will be on July 9th at 4 p.m. Come and enjoy a delicious gourmet dinner prepared by the fantastic chef from Ashland Farms. This event will be limited to only 40 seniors and tickets only cost $4. Sign up starts on June 24th at the reception desk. The Dave Capiangro Swing Band will be performing on July 9th in Tewksbury at the Summer Concert Series sponsored by Blair House. We will be providing a van to take people from the Senior Center to the show. Check with the reception desk for more information. The Lunch Bunch crew will be taking a trip to the Coliseum restaurant in Salem, New Hampshire on July 11th. And that's my favorite place. The Coliseum restaurant is an award-winning Italian restaurant offering elegant surroundings and exquisite Southern Italian cuisine. The bus departs at 11:30 and costs only $6. We'll order off the menu and have separate checks. This event is limited to 15 seniors, so sign up start on June 27th. We'll be taking 2 Fun Friday Museum Day trips this July. The first will be on the 12th to the New England Quilt Museum in Lowell. The second will be on the 26th, and we'll be heading to the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum in Boston. Both of these trips cost only $6. Let's go shopping. Our monthly shopping excursion will be on Monday, July 15th from 1 to 3 p.m. We'll be heading to the Plastow Shopping Center in New Hampshire. The bus departs the Senior Center at 12:30 and only costs $5. We're having a special Saturday social featuring the music of the Beatles, my favorite. Join us on July 20th as we explore the cultural impact of the Beatles through video clips, live music, and fabulous sing-alongs. This event starts at 1 p.m. Tickets are only $3, and you can sign up at the reception desk. On July 30th, we'll be taking a trip to Newburyport's Zumba Day as a part of their Yankee Homecoming Week. The trip is from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. and only costs $6. Don't forget to join us for a Monday morning informational lecture series from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. On July 8th, we'll have the executive director of the Stevens Memorial Library, Kathleen Keenan. On July 15th, we'll be visited by James Fuccione from MCOA Dementia. On the 22nd, we'll have registered nurse Barbara Johnson. And on the 29th, we'll have Caroline Ibbotson, who is a public health nurse. If you have any questions, concerns, or you want to sign up for any of these great programs and events, you can call the reception desk at 978-688-9560. da 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 da, and there'll be fireworks. So see you all next month in August.
Hello, thank you for joining us here. We're at the Common, North Andover, and we're having a lovely day here. With me here is Phyllis Jones. She's the chair of the North Andover Commission of Ability Assistance. Okay, I got it right. So welcome, Phyllis.
Thank
How are
you.
you? And what do we do here at the Ability Assistance?
Just so you're aware, our official name is the North Andover Commission on Disability Issues, also known as the Commission on Ability Assistance.
Oh,
We amended that name. Disability Issues is the official charter name for the town. So we have to go through all sorts of charter work if we want to officially amend it. But we amended that name because nobody's disabled. So usually everybody's able to do something.
yes.
And so the DIS, I'm a child of the 80s, the DIS has a negative connotation.
Okay.
So most everybody's able to do something, but they might need assistance with something else.
Yes.
Hence why ability assistance.
Oh, look at that.
Like I said, we're a town chartered commission, and what we're supposed to do is advise the Board of Selectmen of things that need to be done that could further assist people who fall into that population. One of the things we've done since I've taken over as chair is we've tried to bring programming into the town that people may not know about that could assist people. Some of it is services, outright services. Others is just feel-good type of programming. We have a Facebook page where, again, we put on there, some things are just town recirculated, like the fireworks type of a thing. Some of it is just, we find a story about a woman who is the first woman with Down syndrome who happens to be a registered lobbyist on Capitol Hill in DC,
Okay.
so that we can show people nothing's impossible
Right.
because.
Yes. Yeah.
And some of it is just re-airing our television series, which is also now in podcast.
Oh, okay.
People can find us on Facebook at Disability Issues NAND, I think is the right
Okay.
Facebook page. I never know that. I usually have it on my teleprompter when I
Yes.
close out my show. But we've had amazing year this
So how
year.
can people get involved in this organization?
All they have to do is contact the town. I know that there are a couple of open slots. They need to be appointed by the Board of Selectmen and go through whatever review process that they have.
Okay.
We meet one Saturday a month. The most active members, we all have full-time jobs,
Okay.
so we meet on Saturdays, typically at the community room at the police station. They give us our home,
Okay.
and from there we do what we do best. We put together programming. I'm
And
sorry,
how
go
about
on.
People who would like to join your program, people who might need your services, how would they know or find you and get some help?
Well, they can always reach out to us through the town. I know on the town's website, under disability issues, I think is still what they officially have us under on the town's website, they have my contact information, so they can contact me directly, or they can always call Town Hall, and Town Hall can get the information and pass it along to me. I'm very responsive to emails, to texts, to phone calls. I do what I can to get back to people during normal business hours, but like I said,
You work.
I work full time, that typical 9 to 5 in Boston with the hour-and-a-half commute in each direction.
Yes, and a mom and all that.
And
so
all
yes,
that.
You're a busy
So,
lady.
exactly.
So what kind of programs do you have that in the community that people can come and join? Do you have like activities?
Well, what we do instead is we do a television program on North Andover Cam.
Okay.
That idea was born out of, we had brought in Ms. Wheelchair, Massachusetts.
Okay.
And it was very embarrassing. Only 3 people showed up. It was myself, another commission member, and my daughter, as well as Ms. Wheelchair, Massachusetts. And we tried to do an interview and put it on YouTube. And we realized people are busy.
Yes.
So we approached North Andover CAM, and with the help of the Board of Selectmen, we were able to put everything together. And we had roughly 12 episodes this year. We're very proud of that.
Yes.
We had on Joyce Bradshaw.
Okay.
She was our inaugural episode. She was able to tell us what services the town has to offer. For example, there's a Braille machine,
Okay.
for people who might need documents put into that format. But she went on about a bunch of different services. That was episode 1
Okay.
for anybody who's interested, and they can find that on North Andover CAM's YouTube site.
Okay.
Okay. They can also find it through our Facebook page.
Okay.
And we now have a podcast where we've taken the audio of all of these shows, because not everybody gets cable,
Correct.
or not everybody has the time to watch a television show. And that's available through Podbean, I believe.
Okay.
Would help if I had more information written down. I apologize. But we have turned that into, and we will continue to turn that into audio shows.
Okay.
Over the past year, we've had Joyce Bradshaw on twice. The second time, she ended up showing us, excuse me, the AutoMark machine,
Okay.
which is a specialized machine. It's sort of like a big magic marker, is the way she described it.
Okay.
Put the ballot in, and it has touch type for people who need that assistance. It has a larger screen. It has, headphones for people who might need that assistance, to give people more independence.
Correct.
We have had North Andover Parents Advisory Council on, and they told us about what they do. We had a 2-part episode with Triangle. They're a large organization that offers assistance to people, but they have 2 different formats. They have one format which is meant specifically for young people who are still in the school age system, 21, 22 and younger. And then they have a transition program to help people who are older.
Okay.
We've had on Class, which is a program, they deal with people who have differing abilities or disabilities. I hate that term, but unfortunately that's a term we have to use.
Yes.
But also come from harder backgrounds.
Okay.
We have had on the police and fire department, and they talk to us about emergency preparedness
Yes.
and the new Smart 911 system, which is an app which is fantastic. I would highly recommend it. Are you familiar with that at all?
I'm not familiar with it, so I'll have to check that out.
Okay. It is an app. You register your cell phone numbers, your house phone numbers. It's a nationwide ability if the community participates.
Okay.
North Andover is one of those communities. And then among the things that happen is you can get reverse information.
Okay.
So, for example, when we had the Columbia gas explosions, I was getting information on that.
Yes.
Or more recently, when we had 911 went down throughout
Yes.
the nation for a period of time.
Yes.
About, was it 2 months ago at
I
this
believe,
point?
yes.
Somewhere. We ended up getting, my family and I, got the text messages from the town about what was going on at least an hour and a half before the emergency alerts went off from the state police.
Oh, that's good.
So we were able to talk about that and understand that more. And we also had a district director from Congressman Moulton's office on. I feel like I'm missing somebody, but again, we've done
You're
roughly 12 episodes.
Oh, that's
They're
great.
all out on podcasts now, and we're already looking ahead for our September and October episodes.
Oh, great.
In October, we're going to have the Senior Center
Okay.
come in and talk to us.
And what a great resource that is here in North Andover.
Yes, it is.
And some people might not know about all the different things that they could help with, you know, just helping you with your taxes, or just a place for seniors to come and connect with other people. You don't have to be lonely. You can come and connect with other people and get some services there. So
Most
that's very
definitely.
important.
But our goal is to widen that understanding of what disability means.
Yeah.
It's not just for senior citizens.
Right.
School children, adults, from birth to not birth,
Yeah.
passing away. There are people, there are different abilities, there are different things. So what we're trying to do, we hope to bring in some state agencies to talk about services that the state agencies offer.
Okay.
And every year I go to a free expo in the fall called Abilities Expo. It's a huge expo in Boston. It's free to get into.
Okay.
For anybody who's interested in going, it is extremely accessible. And there are, for-profit companies there that
Yeah.
offer services, but there are also lots of nonprofit companies and organizations there. Now I remember our most important episode. It took us a year, and I actually made friends with this person over at the Abilities Expo the first time I went. Deb Freed from Paralyzed Veterans of America's New England chapter.
Okay.
And
Very important, yes.
and we actually have a commission member who is a veteran. He does have an injury, but it's not from when he served.
Okay.
But he was able to, just by listening in and working in the back, he was able to learn something about services that might be offered to him.
Right.
And that's the
Definitely.
point of why we do the show.
Yes, definitely. Nice. Wow. It sounds like you guys have a lot of different things and ideas to help people of all abilities, help them to find resources. So
Yes.
and
And I would urge, if you know of a nonprofit that does work
yes,
and helps promote or assist people with differing abilities, please reach out to me, because we can only do nonprofits and government services. We can't promote businesses because we are the town.
correct,
So the town can't promote a specific business.
correct. Yes.
But yeah, if somebody is in knowledge of or works a nonprofit organization that has an umbrella to help people who need extra assistance with something, I urge them to reach out to me, and we can talk about getting them on the show, because we're always looking for new guests.
Always new guests and new resources for people. People, as you said, the word disability. Everybody has an ability to do things, but some things might be harder for them.
Exactly.
So to find resources to make their life more comfortable, easier, to be part of the community without feeling that, I can't do this because of this. Say you can do this because of all your other abilities.
Exactly.
So bring out the good abilities in people and not look at what they can't do, but what they can do, and make them feel confident about who they are and what they can do.
Exactly, and that's the whole point. We still do things like, if we see, here there's traffic lights out or there's potholes in the sidewalks, we still, if we get that information, filter it to the town so that they're aware
Yes.
of what's going on. We will be asking the town to allow us a little bit more knowledge of new buildings to make sure that the buildings are more accessible.
Yes.
Speaking of accessibility, Senator Bruce Tarr is one of the state senators here in North Andover.
Okay.
I had approached him late last year, shortly before the holidays. There had been a North Andover resident who had been stranded at the Lawrence Depot
Okay.
because the depot, have you ever been to the Lawrence
Yes.
Depot? Okay. So, you know, there's a beautiful elevator inside, but the doors are extremely difficult to open up.
Okay.
If you are working with a cane, a walker, a wheelchair,
Yes.
to be able to get in there. And so with his assistance over the winter, and it is now officially available, we had installed wireless push-button door openers,
Okay.
the blue handicap
Yes.
door openers.
So it's
they're,
easier.
they're wireless based upon how it needed to be done there.
Yes, yes.
And they're double wide openers. So it's not just the single door, but both doors
doors.
open so that there's no question about if somebody's wheelchair can get through or somebody's,
Yes.
you know, somebody's scooter can get through. It's right there.
It's all accessible to them. Well, that's great work. You know, making great work in the community.
Thank you.
Is wonderful. Now I know I hear on the announcements back here in about 10 minutes they're going to on Mass Ave. They're getting the bikes lined up. They're getting the carriages lined up. So if you're here, go watch the push, pedal, and pump, or push, pull, and pedal. So bikes and carriages and all that kind of fun stuff. So, well, it's so nice to meet you,
Same
Phyllis.
here.
It's great work that you're doing, and I
Thank
hope
you.
to be able to help out with some of these. Or I have ideas. So,
Well, please, you can get to it.
okay. Thank you. Bye. Sorry. Well, I wanted to at least have a closing. I didn't want to just, you know, I wanted to have a closing, right?
What, did you lose all my audio?
Well, that's what I was trying to do, but they kept going.
Welcome back to the July 4th festival we've got here on the Common. My name is Phyllis Jones, and I am going to be hosting for a while. And with me we have our previous host, Lester Rugg. Lester, thank you for coming back. I know you've been under these cameras and lights and everything. It's not really comfortable with all the fans.
Not today, but
No.
even so, that's all right.
Exactly.
I'm here to serve, so that's about the best way to describe
And you know
it.
what? Yeah, those of us who get involved, isn't that always what we're here to do?
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Now, you're going to talk to us about our work with the Senior Center. Now, you were telling me 8 to 9 years you've been involved?
Yeah, pretty close to that,
Okay,
yeah.
how'd you get involved?
Initially, one of the assistant directors asked me would I possibly do a description for the Christmas program that they had, the Christmas trees. And initially, I felt very apprehensive about it. I'm a former teacher, and I felt like, all right, if you stand up before all these students and what have, this ought to be a piece of cake. And I've enjoyed it ever since.
Now, you're a former teacher. What did you teach?
You'll love this. I taught math, which was not my greatest subject, and I taught art.
That's an interesting combination.
It really is, in a sense. I also, taught an arts and crafts program involving beginning jewelry making. And that was very exciting for the students at any rate. And
As long as you weren't asking them to add, subtract, multiply, and divide, right?
yeah, I know. But anyway, that was my introduction.
Well, you know what? What a fantastic introduction, because you're already giving back to the community by teaching children, and then once you left that piece, you ended up starting giving back to the community through the Senior Center. Now, for those people who don't know, although I'm sure most of our viewers do know, you are a co-host of a program here on CAM called Senior Moments.
That's true, I am. I host this with another individual, Irina Grasso. And one of the things involved more than anything else is putting our best foot forward, because in actuality, we have over 6,000 seniors in this town.
Really?
And hopefully, at any rate, for some, this is their club away from home.
Yes.
And they come and attend every day, and we usually take our meals there as well. May not be the best meal, but nonetheless.
You've got that camaraderie, you've got that ability to bond with people who understand your generation and where you've come from. Because I know when I sit down with my 16-year-old daughter and she starts talking and I'm like, what did you say? And it's just a totally different English.
Yeah, it is, all the way around. And I don't know if I could keep up with it either. But at any rate, there's language that we impart they don't understand either.
No.
So it's
No.
the same thing.
No, it is.
But philosophically, I should probably say more than anything else, is putting our best foot forward. The thing about a reaction that I find with a lot of our participants is they're apprehensive about what is offered. It's amazing the variety of things that we do and offer. Everything from low impact exercise
Yep.
to later on in the day a Zumba program,
Oh, wow.
which is very active. I was going to have an interview with Tally, who has been a part of that program for years, but she wasn't able to be with us today. We'll have to reserve that for another time. At any rate,
Did I just get the scoop on something? You're reserving something for another time?
I think so.
Oh, okay.
I think what it is more than anything, she's a very personable interviewee, and I would enjoy being able to get with her because she's been off for a while, and just some of the things that she's experienced and some of the things that she's doing. So on that note, I'll expand on some of the other things we do.
Please.
We have like a beginning chess program
Okay.
taught by an instructor where you don't feel inhibited by any means by wherever you are. He just tries to guide them in this direction. We have an outstanding bridge program for those that are interested in bridge. We even have a billiard table, a couple of them there. Sometimes people use that as well. The thing about it is we offer a little bit for everyone.
Now I understand you also have a library and TV room.
We do. You know, one of the philosophies that I have, one of the hats that I also had, when I was in college, one of my part-time jobs, I had 5 different libraries that I would work part-time.
Wow.
And so I got to know a little bit about all of them and some of the things involved there. I think for me, philosophically, our TV and library is a quiet place.
Yeah.
That's it basically. Sometimes it becomes something else. We also have games in there at certain times of the day, card games. And
What's
once
a card?
month
It's not an app on a phone.
yeah, and we even have a movie program.
Okay.
Once a month.
Do you have book clubs for people?
Yeah, the book club is in there too. And the thing about it is, philosophically, I try to keep order to this place because I am respectful of books and a place to be able to be quiet. And I find that, junk begets junk, so I try to keep it orderly.
And this is so that people understand, this is a library within the senior center.
Yes, it is.
This is in addition to the Stevens Library that
Right.
the general community would know about.
Yeah.
So people have 2 different libraries that they can really go to,
Oh, yes.
which is very important.
Yeah.
Do you have, for those of us who, or for those who are more apt to be more, I guess, electronic, do you have things like computers available for people who might want to use it to email their family wherever?
Right. We do have about 4 computer terminals that are available, and we also have an instructor available for instruction. There may be a small fee, but it's well worth it. And there's something going on all the time. It's my club away from home. My wife says, well, what are you going to do today? And I said, well, I'm going to go join my club.
Well, thank you so much for joining us.
It was my pleasure.
And thank you for also hosting our first hour. Were you hosting our first hour?
We tried.
You try. And we also going to be showing you a clip from the North Andover High School baseball, championship. Thank you so much. We'll be back soon.
When you think of the greatest upsets in sports, Giants over Patriots, UMBC over Virginia, and USA Hockey over Russia are just a couple that come to mind. Albeit this one is much smaller. There was a major one in Massachusetts high school sports tonight as the 8-seeded North Andover Scarlet Knights baseball team defeated the St. John's Preps Eagles 6-0 and clinched the 2019 MIAA Baseball Super 8. Jake Mcelroy fields the routine grounder and tosses it to Jackson Burbridge for the final out, ending the game and giving the Knights their first Super 8 title.
Oh, it feels great. We've done well in the past few years and played a lot of good teams, lost to some, beat some, but it's good to kind of, show that we can play with the big boys.
The Knights got on the board quickly in the first, with Sebastian Keene driving in Thomas Finn with an RBI double. Going back and forth with the prep for the next several innings, it wouldn't be until the 6th inning when Eric Whitehead ripped a shot into deep left field, driving in Brett Dunham and standing up at second. From there, the Knights looked locked in.
I saw it off the bat, and I was like, that going out? Like, I don't know. I was feeling myself. And then, I don't know. Just when I got to second base, I exploded with emotion. Like, just, it felt so good.
Red Sox draft pick Keane took the ball in the 7th inning, and after getting himself into a bases-loaded jam, struck out leadoff hitter Brady O'Brien to end the inning. He pitched a scoreless final 2 innings and finished the Super 8 with 29 strikeouts through 18 in the 3rd innings.
I didn't feel too good in the 1st inning, so the next inning I went and just stretched a lot more, did a lot more band work. Felt great the next inning, and then just did the job and then got the win. So, I don't know, it's a great way to finish the season.
This game was also the final chapter in the North Andover Athletics career of Jake Mcelroy, quarterbacking the Knights to a Super Bowl victory, becoming the second 1,000-point scorer in North Andover basketball history, and now captaining a baseball program to a Super 8 title. There's no disputing McElroy's place in the pantheon of North Andover athletes.
It was a great ride. I had great coaches and teammates, and they helped me out. I didn't do it by myself or anything, and then it was great to end it off like this.
After first-round exits the previous 2 years and barely squeaking into the Super 8 this year, the Knights' immaculate title run was one that was ripe in the making. In truth, calling this title an upset does the Scarlet Knights a great disservice, as beating 4 of the top 5 teams and outscoring them by 3 times speaks for itself. This was no Cinderella story. This was a freight train that finally docked.
I think you could tell from early in the regular season that we were special, and because we'd win tight games and we'd get the bounces at the end of the games, and that's how I knew we were special come down the stretch, and we really turned it on in the Super 8, and that was awesome.
The 8 seed nobody wanted in the Super 8 wins the entire thing without a loss. I mean, oh, yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
I don't even know how to say everything. Like, just thank you to everyone that came here, supported us from the beginning. It was a great team win. Like, I don't know, this is the greatest feeling ever. Being a state championship is my last season. I'm done with high school. It's kind of crazy. I don't know. Just so much is going on in my head.
Congratulations to these guys. I will miss them tomorrow. It's more than anything else. I will miss them. They loved to practice. And I'd try to end practice. They'd be like, no, we want to keep going. You want to do the hits game? Yeah, we're doing the hits game today. That kind of group. So I will miss them dearly.
Ladies and gentlemen, again, another big round of applause.
From Haverhill Stadium, I'm Sam Murray.
Hi, welcome back. I'm Phyllis Jones, and I am here with State Representative Trom Nguyen. Trom, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me here today. I am so glad that we're here on this beautiful July 4th Thursday.
And you look very patriotic.
Thank you.
Very
I
patriotic.
just came from a parade.
Hey, you know what? You're making the rounds. You represent how many different communities?
4 towns. So North Andover, Andover, Tewksbury, and Boxford.
Okay,
Yes.
and you're a freshman representative
Yes.
on top of that.
Yes.
That's
Learning
taken
my
on
towns.
that's taken on a lot. Tell me, you're a freshman. You guys have only been in session since January is when you were sworn in?
Yes.
Okay. It's been a very active 6, now going on 7 months in this world right now. What have you done?
Where do we start?
What haven't you done, I guess, is the better thing.
So it's been a huge learning experience, and it's truly an honor to serve. I'm really thrilled that I get to represent North Andover with our other great representative, Christina Minicucci. And for us, as both first years, we came in, I'm sure you know, 6,000 bills, over 6,000 bills were filed.
Yes.
So we came in January. They were like, okay, go ahead, file bills. And we did. And then after the bill filing session ended, they're like, well, here are over 6,000 bills. Look through them, see which ones you want to co-sponsor.
And you're still doing that.
We're still doing that. And so if anyone tells you they're done looking through the 6,000 bill, that's a lie.
No, because I ride the trains a lot with Christina.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'll be like, did you see this one? No, let me look at that.
Exactly.
You know, so yeah, no, you guys are in a, I know people think, oh, they go, they push a button, they go home.
No.
Kind of, no, this is a cyclical event with no end date.
Yeah, no, there is no end date.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, except for the co-sponsorship deadline. But I mean, the reality of it is that because there are so many important issues throughout the state, we're trying to sort through what are priorities for our district. But we also rely on constituents to contact us, which is why, for me, one of the priorities is to be available and accessible to the people, not only at events like this where people can come up and speak with me, but also we have office hours.
Now, you have 4 different communities.
Yes.
Do you have office hours in each community?
Absolutely.
How often do you do office hours?
So it's once a week in each of the towns, so that comes out to once a month in each of the towns.
community.
Yep. And for us, we try to switch them up depending on location availability as well as time, because we know some people work during the day, some people work during the evenings are better for them, weekends are better for them. So please go on to our website, votetrom.com. There's a calendar that lays out my upcoming office hours for the next month. And so you can find us. And just because you're from North Andover doesn't mean that you have to go to a North Andover office hours.
You can go, I was about to ask.
Exactly. You can go to any of the office hours. I have people from North Andover visiting me in Tewksbury, or Tewksbury going to Andover, if that works for them, if that time works for them. Or you can also call my office.
I was about to
and
say.
come stop by the State House if I happen to be there, or my staff is always in the office to meet with folks as well.
What is your phone number? Because not everybody is computer happy.
Yes. Or wants to be.
Exactly.
On the computer. Absolutely. 617-722-2060.
Okay, and you said you always have a staffer available to answer a phone. And I know from personal experience, you get those texts right away and you turn them around as quickly as you can.
Yes.
You also have social media for those of us who aren't afraid of computers.
Yes.
You have a Facebook page and a Twitter.
Yes.
You want to tell us a little bit more about what those handles are?
Yeah, well, they're Team Trom. So some of them is teamtrom.ma, team.trom, depending on the account. But if you search Team Trom, it'll come up. And we are, we're very active on social media. If you follow me on Facebook or Twitter, you'll get updates on things like this. I will be posting about our conversation right now. I also post of upcoming hearings. Whenever we get hearing notifications, we post onto Facebook so that people can go on and you can take a quick glance. You can see, oh, this bill is of interest to me. I want to know more. Definitely reach out to our office and we can give you more information. But we want to be available and accessible and transparent with folks and want to make sure that.
And I can let people know I personally follow you on Twitter. And I can let people know that in my other life as chair of the Commission on Ability Assistance, I'm constantly tagging you on our Facebook page, and you'll read, recirculate the information as
Absolutely.
you see fit.
Exactly. And I mean, for us, we want to hear from you and others in the town if there are things that you want me to get involved with, or like here, inviting me to these events, or just keeping me up to date as to what's happening in town. That's so appreciated.
And I know we've already discussed off air, sometime early next year you hope to come onto our show
Absolutely.
to talk about what you've done on Beacon Hill regarding things that might help people who need extra assistance.
Right.
We like to use ability assistance rather than
Absolutely.
disability issues as a
Right.
connotation issue there, personally for me, because not everybody or very few people can't do something.
Yeah.
And that's why we changed our name.
And I just actually had a bill relating to ability assistance, in that we know that our students get a lot of assistance in schools, but once they graduate from the schools, it's harder for young adults with disabilities to get jobs, to get the job training, to get the job coaching, to even get to work.
Yep.
And so we just had a hearing last week or the week before that, proposing a bill to actually make that easier, so that everyone has the ability to reach their full potential in our community.
Yeah.
And we're lucky in North Andover. Actually, our businesses do a very good job of that.
Yes, they do.
But it shouldn't depend on which area code you live in for you to get that kind of services.
No, it shouldn't. It shouldn't, and it shouldn't depend upon whether or not your community is active enough to look
Absolutely.
out for you.
Absolutely.
I wish I had written down the number. When I was at work yesterday, I saw you had introduced a bill regarding, there's a lot of stuff going on regarding employment issues.
Yeah.
Is that the same bill?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So looking to give them better employment opportunities, community-based employment opportunities.
And you know what? There are so many problems right now with people being able to just get jobs that pay.
Yeah.
And then if you have issues being able to perform jobs,
Yes.
that puts
Or
it
to get to your job.
Yes, and that kind of puts it back one step further. So I think it's fantastic if you're trying to help people get those types of jobs and training.
Right, and we want them training on the job at the employment place, because I think it's about integration and inclusion and creating a welcoming environment. And as someone, I worked in legal aid prior to getting into office.
Yes.
I did a lot of employment law, so these issues are very close to me. And actually, I reconnected with some of the organizations I worked with when I was still in law school. And there was a handbook for parents with students with disabilities and dealing with IEPs. And my class
You want
actually
to throw
wrote the book.
You want to throw some of that stuff my way?
Absolutely. So my class co-authored the first edition. Now they're on their third, but I can certainly send that your way.
Please.
Because we basically took the law and translated it into regular layman's terms.
People language.
Yes, I'm not legally.
People language. I mean,
that's important.
You know why I'm a lawyer too, and I get that training. But you know, sometimes
Not everyone has the training. Not everyone should.
Exactly. You look at it and go,
what are you trying to say?
And all you're trying to say is the bridge is blue.
Yes. No, absolutely. So I'm very committed to that. Yeah.
So you also helped pass the budget. The budget has gone through the House at this point.
Yes.
What have you done for me?
Well, I'm so proud that the entire North Andover delegation put in a request for the new multi-generational recreation complex. And so we don't have a definite amount yet, because it actually passed both the House and the Senate, and now they're in conference committee to try to find that sweet number that's, compromise.
For the non-political junkies out there.
Yes.
And I got my degree in this people out there.
Yes.
Can you take a moment and explain that process to them?
Absolutely. So how the budget works is that typically the governor will introduce the budget, the proposed budget, and then the House gets the first shot at it to try to look through, given the $43 billion that we have to work with. By law in Massachusetts, our budget needs to be balanced. And so we take that money and we try to divide them into the different organizations. We also, as state representatives, we're supposed to represent our community. So we go in and advocate for earmarks specific to our towns for the things that people need money for, care about. And for me, I reached out to our local elected officials to ask for what they think would be best for the towns, and they gave us that answer that they want assistance with the multi-generational complex, recreation
I'm
complex.
actually looking very much forward to that.
Absolutely.
Because you know, you've got the rec center over here and the senior center over there,
Right.
and nothing in between.
And so we agree with them that that's important. And so we, after the House budget passed, we passed it over to the Senate,
Okay.
where we're hoping that they'll ask for a little bit more, which they did.
Good.
And now, after both the House and the Senate budget, if there are discrepancy in terms of the numbers or language, now it's in conference committee where they try to reconciliate the differences.
And once it passes conference committee, then it still has to go back to the House and Senate to be
it goes
voted
to
on?
the governor.
It goes straight to the governor?
Yes.
Okay.
It goes to the well, we vote on the budget
As a
It's
joint.
yeah, and then it goes to the governor, and then the governor can pass or veto, and he can do a line item veto.
Okay. In which case,
And
then
they
it goes
change it. And it goes back to us, and we can override the vetoes. So it's a longer process than you think.
Ibuprofen and lots of water.
Yes. But it was a very interesting experience. Most of us were there until, 8, 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night for an entire week straight. We got to know each other very well.
One would hope after all of that.
After all that time together at the State House. But I'm thrilled that I get to work with such wonderful people. And, we don't agree on everything 100%, but I think it's important to talk about what we care about and what we care about our constituents and that they're taken care of.
Well, again, I want you to just put out your phone number and your social media for those people who are first coming on board.
Absolutely. So please visit my website. It's votetrom.com. My social media handle are Team Trom, so please look for that. And the phone number is 617-722-2060. And I hope to hear from you.
Representative Wynn, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. This is great.
It was wonderful being able to sit down and talk to you in a different way. We talk so often.
Yes. All right.
And thank you again for joining us. Next, we're going to cut to an interview with the Lions Club from the Sheep Shearing Festival. And I hope you enjoy that one. We'll be back soon.
The North Andover Lions Club is a local nonprofit. We're part of a worldwide organization with over, 252,000 clubs worldwide, and our mission is to serve. We serve our community. We're very active as far as eye research many of the funds that we raise goes into eye research. We provide glasses for those that cannot afford glasses, and
we try to encourage people in the community to reach out to join the Lions. We do raise funds for eye research, and we try to think of different ways to hold these fundraisers to make it fun for people to participate so that we can raise the funds. The Lions Club's been involved in this North Andover Sheep Shearing Festival for years and years. And we find it, when the weather is like it is today, to be a profitable event, Very nice.
yeah, and it creates we create awareness. We let the general public see what Lions is all about. We encourage people to step up, ask us questions, to get involved in Lions. We love the community. We do a lot for the community as well. And we're here. We meet on the second Wednesday of the month over at Joe Fish. If anybody's interested, please look us up online. All our information is there, North Andover Lions Club. We love being here. We love being part of the community. We love showing people how active we are. And also, we're very, very lucky to have our group members here of the North Andover Lions Club. And we're doing hamburgers and hot dogs and chips and popcorn and raising money, whether it's for eyeglasses for those in need or for the eye research.
this. That's why I knew who you were. I was just curious if you were going to do it again.
He's in the older group this year.
I
so
was thinking about
kinda
trying
like,
it, but I don't know. I'm a little nervous. Everything by strategy, I try it.
Shove your head in.
Shove my head in.
It doesn't matter. Don't go around the edge. All these fancy no, just shove your head in.
And how do you do like a thrust? Is it how do you do the thrust? Is it thicker? You have to chew a little bit more?
Where do you sign up for the pie?
Right
here?
Okay,
Thank you.
some people flip it over.
That's not it's not.
Yeah.
Just flatten out the.
Hey, how's it going?
Are you ready for the pie eating contest?
I don't know. He's praying this year. He's in the older group and he's like all nervous about that.
It's a bigger pie, right?
It's a bigger pie, yeah.
He's giving me some. He's giving me some clues if I want to try to do it.
Yeah, some tips.
Yeah.
Don't chew, swallow it whole. No, just
Exactly.
Hi, and welcome back to the July 4th Festival. I'm Phyllis Jones, and I am joined this time by Martina. You are born, bred, and raised right here in North Andover.
Yep.
And you're now in college. Where are you going?
So I'm going to Carnegie Mellon University in Pittsburgh, and I'm studying international relations and politics.
What year are you?
I just finished up my freshman year.
Oh. Enjoyed it?
Sure did.
Enjoyed being away from home. I won't tell mom and dad.
I can't tell you.
Why did you choose to study international relations?
So I'd always been interested in history
Okay.
throughout school, and so it wasn't until my senior year in high school that I actually took a history class called History of Modern Conflict.
Okay.
And so you looked at the roots of current issues that we saw in the news, and so I really saw that I could take this passion for history and really apply it to the real world and make concrete difference here, because honestly, politics is just history in the present.
Those who refuse to learn the lessons of are doomed to repeat them. Isn't that old saying that people
Yeah.
kind of like to repeat?
Mm-hmm.
Now, you're very involved in a project called the Borgan Project?
Yes.
What is that?
So the Borgan Project is an innovative national campaign that works to make global poverty a focus of U.S. foreign policy.
Okay.
We do this in a couple of ways. Our main way is that we ask citizens to please contact their congressman and tell them that you support foreign aid and the international affairs budget, which is what we use to fight global poverty abroad. We also meet directly with representatives, congressmen and senators, which I actually got to do for the first time a couple of weeks ago.
Ooh.
I got to meet with the office of our Senator Ed Markey, which was very interesting.
Did you meet with the senator himself?
I did not. He is a very busy man, but I did get to meet with his staff, which was very fun and interesting. And the reason that we do this is because not only we feel that the U.S. obviously has a moral imperative to help those in need, but there's also a lot of national security and economic reasons to do this. Just a couple years ago, 50 of some of the largest companies in the United States, Google, Boeing, Land O'Lakes, the butter company, they all sent a letter to Congress asking them to please increase the foreign aid budget, because they see that when you help these people out of barely surviving, they actually become consumers of U.S. products and increase our
the economic cycle.
Yeah.
Yep. You help. They have more to give, they have more to spend, and welcome to middle class America.
Yeah, exactly. And then there's also a lot of national security reasons for it. The military is pretty much in agreement, and even the 3Ds of the Pentagon are defense, development, and diplomacy. We have a lot of huge budget for diplomacy and defense, but we're trying to get development to be increased, because if you look at the most dangerous countries in the world and the most terrorist-prone countries in the world, they're also the poorest countries. And that's because these violent groups really feed off the desperation of these people. And so we need to make them, if we give them the security and a safety net, so we take them back from the brink of starvation, that they really become productive citizens and really decrease the likelihood of national conflict.
Now, we've got several acts currently in Congress
Yes.
that you're most focused on. Let's take those one at a time. The first one is the Global Fragility Act.
Fragility.
Agility. I'm sorry. That tells you I can't my own handwriting.
Yes, so the Global Fragility Act is actually one of the ones we're focusing on the most. It just recently got past the Senate Committee on Foreign Relations.
What is it?
So basically what it does is it supplies funding for countries that are most unstable and most prone to conflict in order to prevent those conflicts from breaking out.
How so?
So it basically reallocates funding from countries that are have stabilized recently, and it gives them to countries that maybe have shown like increased vulnerability to terrorist organizations. And so because the reason why we do this is terrorist organizations have been known to target famine victims because they are seen as the most desperate, and so we want to step in and be that safety net for them before.
Okay. And how would these funds be allocated? Are they specifically allocated for food? Are they allocated for services? Are they just being given to the particular country's leaders to be able to allocate on their own?
So they're allocated to a lot of different measures. They're all of which are peaceful. It does not involve military intervention, but there is just sheer like, here's food to get you through today. There's also a lot of education that we like help to build schools. There's building wells, teaching farmers more sustainable and more productive crop techniques to help in the long term. So it's like a little bit of like, let's get you through today, and a lot of let's get you through the future.
Okay, now talking about just our Massachusetts people that represent us here in North Andover, we've got Congressman Moulton, and then the entire state has Senator Warren and Senator Markey. What do you know whether or not these three individuals have signed on to this act?
So Markey has actually co-sponsored it, which is the highest seal of approval you can get. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that Moulton voted for it when it did pass through the House. Senator Warren has sadly not co-sponsored or say she will support it. Based off her track record, we suspect she might, but we haven't got any approval or any confirmation of that.
So for people who are most interested in this particular piece of legislation, they should contact Senator Warren's office in order to let them know they're in support of it. Now, you also have Keeping Girls in School Act.
Yeah, so this act is really to, so it makes sure it, it sets up regulations so that countries who are receiving educational benefits from the United States, that they meet certain requirements that there's a gender equality in those education. Because as girls age, they are more and more likely to drop out of school due to everything from forced marriages, childbearing, or even just social pressure. And so we really see this as important because for every year past a girl is in school past 4th grade, her income actually raises 40%.
Wow.
And so by keeping them in school, we not only help those individual girls, we help their entire economies.
And their families.
Yes, exactly.
But being able to provide more for their families. And what can you tell us about that act in terms of our senators and our congressmen?
So right now, none of our representatives in Congress have co-sponsored it. Ed Markey is looking into it. He is kind of known for being a crusader for international aid. However, none of our other, Elizabeth Warren has not had any confirmation of whether she's looking into it or even really thinking about it, and Seth Moulton has not come out and co-sponsored it either.
And then finally, we have the U.S. Northern Triangle Enhanced Engagement Act. Did I get that one right?
Yes.
Okay. Break that one down a little bit.
So the Northern Triangle are the countries of Honduras, El Salvador, and just generally that little bit in between South America and below Mexico.
Okay.
And so that's the reason why
Latin America, basically?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the reason why this bill is so important is because of this is where the vast majority of migrants come through from our southern border. And so the reason why this act that we see is so important is because it provides aid to really target those problems that are forcing these people northward and out of their countries. It targets those violent gangs that are there. It targets drug trafficking, and it really helps their economies grow, so they have economic opportunities in their home countries.
That's fantastic. And again, let's go back to 2 senators, 1 congressman. How are they?
We got nothing.
Ooh. Have they told you who, what, when, where, why, or how?
No. Sadly, this bill actually, it has, in their defense, it has just been introduced.
Okay.
So we haven't got any confirmation.
So we're not blindsiding them then on this one?
Not completely. It was introduced a couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
In response to everything, all the politics that have been going on about Southern migration. We're hoping it gets passed. It does seem to have quite a bit of traction, especially among Southern states.
Because it
affects
enhance
them the most.
Yes.
And it also has quite a bit of bipartisan support. I looked it up a couple days ago, and I think 13 out of 25 of them were Republicans, and so it's really half and half support.
That's interesting and good.
Yeah.
To hear. Imagine people coming together to.
Yeah.
Well, Martina, I'd really like to thank you for coming on board. I'd like to wish you luck in your lobbying efforts to get this important legislation passed. And good luck with the Borgan Project, and good luck in your sophomore year.
Thank you so much for having me.
No, thank you. And join us next for, wow, we're going to have a little clip from a tour at the North Andover CAM studio. I can tell you from personal experience, it's huge, it's fantastic. You should come on by personally, but enjoy this clip.
North Andover CAM has been serving this community since 2004, and now, 15 years into our story, we have moved to a new facility which will allow us to bring even more to you. Construction began late last year at the site of the old Brad Street School at 70 Main Street. Walls went up, wires went in, and the furniture and equipment followed shortly thereafter. In March, the new facility went live, and North Andover CAM is now operating out of this space, 70 Main Street, Suite 202. This is our office area. It is where our 3 full-time employees and our crew of interns do their daily tasks. As you pass the staff and intern desks, you'll see the office of our executive director on the right, and on the left is our conference room. This spacious meeting area is used by North Andover CAM personnel, but it's also available to be used by local groups and nonprofit organizations. It comes equipped with a large table, a conference speakerphone, and a smart TV, onto which presentations can be cast remotely. And through this door is the production side of our new facility. It starts out with our new kitchen, which we set up to do cooking programs. It's no mere set piece, though. It's a fully functional kitchen with a cooktop, conventional and microwave ovens, and a bevy of items to help get through any recipe. Further down the way is our editing area. Most of the programs you see here on our CAM channels are recorded in the field using portable cameras. That footage is then brought back to the studio and edited using one of our editing stations. Over here you'll see our 2 standalone editing stations. These are used by our volunteers to finish their productions from the field. And then there's our complete edit suite, in which team editing projects as well as voiceovers and even podcasts can be done. This suite includes a 55-inch program monitor and a pair of wall-mounted speakers for a more complete overall analysis of the project's video and audio quality. All of our edit stations are Mac-based and use the apps from the Adobe Creative Cloud, such as Premiere Pro, Photoshop, After Effects, and Audition. Further down is our master control room. This is the room from which most of what you see on our CAM channels originates. A bank of computer servers runs a constant stream of programs and bulletins, which is then seen on our 3 channels. We now head back a little bit to give you a look at our control room. Unlike the master control area, which controls the output of our facility to our cable providers, this room allows us to control what's going on in the studio. The 2 rows of consoles are set up for a variety of different crew positions and tasks. The front row is where most of the technical equipment resides. On the left is the teleprompter station. Scripts are transferred into this computer and then displayed on the prompter units with the cameras in the main studio. The middle station is for the technical director, who performs most processes involved in the production, including the switching of video sources, incorporation of pre-recorded content known as roll-ins, and the adding of graphics and/or special video effects. The audio and media station is on the right. It is where the audio mixer is located. This is where all the microphone and other audio sources come in and are mixed together to provide the final audio for any project. In addition, this station also houses the media players and recorders needed for such a complete production. And now, the last part of our tour, the jewel in our crown, the main studio. This new studio area is twice as big as our North Andover High School studio. It's equipped with 3 studio cameras, teleprompter screens, and a new lighting grid. The new LED-based lighting grid is not only much more energy efficient, but can also be adjusted to use multiple colors. This results in much more flexibility for producers regarding the look of their program. And this has been your virtual video tour of the new North Andover CAM facility at 70 Main Street. Like what you see? Talk to us about how you can get involved. Call our office at 978-687-6570. Or, better yet, come by and visit us. We're on the second floor in Suite 202. Visit us soon and see what we and what you can do for our viewing community.
Hi, welcome back. We're at the July 4th Festival here on North Andover Camp down at the Town Common. And I'm Phyllis Jones, and I'm hosting this hour. And I am now joined by our state representative, Christina Minicucci. I pronounced that right this time, right? Because I am horrible with last names.
She only hangs out with me like twice a week.
Well, we'll get into that. All right, so you're in your freshman first year.
Yes.
As state rep of the 14th Essex?
Yes.
Okay, where do you represent?
So I represent downtown North Andover.
Okay.
And a little bit of Methuen, a little bit of Lawrence, and a little bit of Haverhill.
Wow, it's kind of like, scrambled eggs, you kind of throw a little bit of their everything.
Yeah.
That's a kind of very diverse...
Clip the edge of everybody.
Yeah, that's kind of a diverse segment of the population there. You must be running around.
I do a lot of running around.
You do a lot of running around. So let me ask you first and foremost, public transportation is a huge issue right now. We just had a fare increase.
Yes.
And
3 days ago.
And the commuter rail is, well, we've had this conversation. And people think, well, they're just on Beacon Hill and they don't know. Let me plug you for a second. How often do you take the commuter rail in?
Every time I go to Boston.
Which is roughly?
Depends. Like this week it'll be 4 days. Some weeks it's 2 days. But
so every
I have driven my car 6 times since January 2nd.
And you get a free parking spot as part of your compensation right there.
I pay taxes on it, but yes, I do.
But
I do. I have the ability to park every day as part of my compensation. So.
And when you can't make the train, don't you also like commute with people? Like,
I do.
You'll have somebody give you...
Occasionally I commute.
Family members or colleagues?
Yep, colleagues.
So you're doing what you can to save the global environment out there.
Yes, I do.
That, from my perspective, a lot of people look at it and go, oh, they're just another bunch of politicians. And I think it's important when they see that somebody real is stepping into the role, just to kind of let people know a little bit more about you. State rep, mom, involved in the community.
I am now.
Wife.
Officially, as of July 1st, I am the scoutmaster of our Boy Scout troop.
Girl Scout troop.
Yep. So now that Boy Scouts is now co-eds, we're now Scouts, I am the Scoutmaster. It's my new role.
So does that mean Girl Scouts have merged with Boy Scouts?
No, it's a different organization.
It's a completely different organization, but they're not gender specific anymore.
No. So Troop 87 in North Andover allows girls. And so as of July 1st, we are officially co-ed. So
that gives more options to women who are interested in scouting.
Yeah. And my daughter wanted to do it, and so she's one of our first.
I was going to say, is she your inaugural?
Our inaugural class.
Your inaugural class, your inaugural female member. Legislation. There's a lot pending right now on Beacon Hill. What is something you'd like to highlight other than your work against having our transportation costs go up?
Well, one of the bill that I'm most excited about is the Healthy Youth Initiative, and that is bringing medically accurate, age-appropriate sex ed into the classroom, but more specifically with consent, and talking about consent and healthy relationships, which is really important, and it sort of ties in with the Lieutenant Governor's initiative that she's doing right now about respectfully and teaching healthy relationships in school and amongst young kids, so that we're not waiting until they're older, waiting until it's too late to intervene. It's more of a preventative situation.
Kids are knowing too much too soon, too young.
Yeah. And that's, tying in with that. It's like making sure that they know how to use the internet and know how to use apps and know how to find age-appropriate material, but really it's like factually correct information. And so it's really making sure that kids have access to that, because not everybody has access to that at home. It will still be an opt-out for parents who get nervous about it, but it's something where...
Sounds like it would also be a great program to bring to each individual community for the parents to be able to go to. And it's sort of like at NAMS, we have the parents move up night and we have the kids move up day, to do something like that, so that the parents can see what you're doing, because not everybody is very active on the internet.
Right.
So at least they know what to be on the lookout for.
And it's hard because, given the district that I represent, I see a lot of disparity in access. So access to things like public transportation. There are a lot of people in parts of my district that only can use public transportation or walk. That's the only way they get from place to place, versus, in a lot of North Andover, that's not the case. People have cars or can carpool with friends who have cars. And so, you really see the disparity from place to place, so that you see how important it is to make sure that, and that holds true for internet.
Yes.
That holds true for so many different things. And so it gives me a much different perspective in making sure that when I'm thinking about things, legislation and things to push forward, I'm not just in the echo chamber, not just thinking solely of North Andover, but realizing that there is a much broader
community that you represent. Which
and
is
and what I like about my district, despite the fact I do a lot of running around and there's a lot of variety, and it keeps me on my toes. You really see how interconnected all of our towns are, and when one of them does really well, we sort of all do well, and when one of them isn't doing well, none of us are doing well. And so, the excitement about Amazon, for example, coming to town.
Yes.
I mean, I got a call from the mayor of Lawrence, and he was all excited about it. The mayor of Haverhill was really excited about it. They know that this means a boom for our whole community.
Economy and area.
Right. Exactly. So.
What else, legislative-wise, are you?
Well, some things I'm excited about is, we've been working a lot on the CSO issues that have impacted our area, and Congresswoman Trahan's been amazing, and she's really gone out of her way to sort of make this a project, because we know this isn't really going to be a local fix. This is going to take federal dollars. The Merrimack River is actually pretty healthy, and it's sort of progressively getting healthier every year compared to how it was when I was a kid, and even longer back than that. But there still is a lot of work to do, and so it's definitely going to take federal infrastructure dollars to sort of make a difference. And so, one of the first conversations I had was with her staff and saying, what can you do to try to, you're going to know what's going on, see this, and as soon as they saw it, they were like, this is definitely a federal fix. So that was really promising to me, and something that I was hoping to do at a state level. And I've signed on to some bills, filed some of my own legislation, but I'm really even more excited about the federal involvement and her making sure that we communicate with New Hampshire, and because it's really sort of a team effort.
Yes.
So, so I'm excited about that.
Now, you're also very active on social media. I know this also from a personal fact. You've got Twitter, you've got Facebook.
That's it.
That's it. Okay.
And I'm horrible at Facebook, but and I didn't know how to use Twitter, but now I love it. It's my favorite.
You're a big tweeter.
Yeah, I like it.
You're a big tweeter, because I follow what you do, and you're really tweeting a lot, but you're tweeting a lot of what you're doing, where you're going, what's happening in the community. What are your Twitter handles and your Facebook handles?
Christina for Rep.
Is for both of them.
Yep.
That makes it a lot easier.
It does make it a lot easier. And Christina's with a CH.
Exactly. Phyllis Jones.
As opposed to the K.
Need you to come up here to sign
And
waiver form.
you've got the accessibility as well. You have people who are working for you, your staffer Jocelyn.
Yes.
And I want to throw something out for them as well. Not only do you promote your own public transportation, but you help Jocelyn get in on the days she has to be on the hill.
Exactly, and so she's probably driven in fewer times than I have, but she nearly always takes the train from Lawrence also. So you can usually find both of us on the train, and there are a number of other staffers too across the, some of the other, like Rep. Lori Ehrlich, her staffer lives in Haverhill, and he takes the train with us, so we always see him, and there are a number of other interns that we see on the train, so it's kind of fun.
No,
and
it
we
is.
see friends.
Yes.
For me, I get to sit with you a lot in the morning, in the afternoon.
Yeah, you're interrupting
people.
my. I'm now binge watching stuff on Netflix.
Yeah, right. So, exactly. So it's nice, and it's not always perfect, obviously, as we know. We're lucky because the Lawrence Haverhill line actually has pretty good accuracy. We're third in the state. And we're just right below the other two. So we actually have, a pretty good line to ride on. Not everybody is like that. Not every line is like that. Some of them are delayed every single day. And
we just need more trains coming in and out of the area.
Exactly. And that's the biggest struggle for me in sort of making the commitment to take public transportation, is that I have to plan. I can't have meetings in Boston. If I have a 9 o'clock meeting, I know which train I have to take. So I have to plan my meetings around the train schedule a little bit. In the morning is a lot easier for me because I can be there for 9 o'clock easily because there's multiple trains that will get me there for 9 o'clock. In the afternoon, a lot of times I have evening events here in the district, so I have to make sure that I can walk out the door of the State House by 3 o'clock. And at 3 o'clock, I'm hustling to get to the train station, but I can get there for that 3:15 train without too much stress.
What do we got, a 10-minute walk?
Yeah.
You usually...
The other day, I did it in 8, so...
Okay, well, you've gone walking with me.
I was wearing my sneakers, and I was really hustling, but in that way, I can get back here for a 5 o'clock event without any trouble. So.
Now, you don't have any typical office hours yet.
No, we do have an office at Lawrence City Hall, and we are either Jocelyn is there or I'm there, one of the two of us, sometimes both of us, but usually Jocelyn is there every Monday. And so from 2 to 4, we kind of have open drop-in office hours. And if she's not there, one of the other members of the delegation definitely will have a member there to talk to. And we do a lot of tag teaming across the delegation. So Senator Feingold usually has somebody who's in the office, as well as Rep. Devers and Rep. Moran. So
you really work as a cohesive unit.
Yes, I mean, certainly for the Lawrence delegation, but we also, because like Rep. Moran is representing 2 other communities also, Andover and Methuen, he can his staff is really good at sharing, and then same for me, where I'm happy to help him out in Methuen, and we sort of try to work together.
And that means so much when you can get legislators and people in the government, and just the government in general, just working as a cohesive unit, because people get scared sometimes of, how do I do this? What do I do? And to know that if, for example, I know you, but I don't know anything or everything else in the what's going on, you're then working with other people, and you can kind of direct me as to where I'm going. Now,
and that's worked really well. There was a piece of, we wanted to get a budget item passed. UTEC, who's an organization that helps reduce gang violence throughout all the communities.
Yes,
so from
I've
Lowell
seen you
all
on
the
Twitter,
way across
you've
to
been doing
Haverhill. And so they started in Lowell, but they have a new place in Haverhill, and they've been working in Lawrence and Methuen, and they work everywhere, a lot of anti-gang, and then also with re-entry programming. So for people, they go into the criminal justice system, they help people get adjusted and find them work when they come out, they give them childcare, and so it really helps with young folks between the ages of 18 and 24 finding their way back into the community and finding work. And so that's really important to really the Merrimack Valley as a whole. And so we all got together as a delegation, and we went in as a force. And we
I
were talked
saw
about
that.
by many people as being this force that kind of came in, because it was right across the board. And we've got 2 chairs. We have Linda Dean Campbell, who's the chair of the Veteran Services, and then Frank Moran is the chair of personnel. So,
Which is the committee you sit on.
well, I sit in his office, but I'm not officially on his committee. But
Then why are you sitting in his office?
just the way it shook out. I'm happy because I love having like a mentor like that I get to share space with. But it was really nice to have people from Lowell all the way down to Haverhill, and in between we all sort of came together and said this is really important to the entire. And we were successful in getting this program up and running, and it's going to be a pilot program for the state, which is going to make a huge difference because they are making a big impact and helping keep the violence off the street and reducing violence across the board. And so that's really important. And again, people in North Andover go, why do I need to do that? But if everyone is safe and guns and violence are coming off the street in our neighboring communities, it's not like those border lines make a difference, right? Everything bleeds back and forth, and it happens everywhere. It happens here. It happens everywhere. And so the more that we can do to support young people, I think the better we are as a whole.
Most definitely. How's the best way to get in touch with you, or what are a couple multiple ways that people can get in touch with you?
Well, they can find me floating around town because I like to run and walk. I biked here.
And you like to
You
stalk
can find
people,
me on the
that's
train.
all.
No, you can contact me at my at repminicucci@gmail is one way, and that goes to both me as well as my staffer Jocelyn. My official State House email is christina.minicucci@masshouse.gov.
Yep.
I'm happy to have people call me on my cell phone, which is 978-490-0897. And like I said, on Mondays we have sort of set office hours of 2 to 4. They're walk-in hours, and then we periodically have other hours throughout. The summer hours have not been set because it's been tricky. Just getting that squared away with the budget and everything that's been going on, which isn't finalized yet. But we will have some set office hours, usually one day a month, and we float between the different communities, make sure everybody has access. So.
No, and that's access is the biggest thing.
And I'm always happy to meet with anybody anytime. I frequently get people that text me, call me, like, can you meet me somewhere for coffee? I have an issue I want to talk about, and people talk about pending legislation. They talk about any number of issues in the community. It can be anything. It could just be they want to get to know me better, and because it's important to them to know their legislator. And I'm happy to talk to anybody.
And I'll send you a plug because, yes, we ride the train together. But if I'm having a bad day, I work right down the street. You're there if I just need, someplace safe to just hang during my lunch hour. If anybody heard me say stalking, it was a joke. But you're involved in so many different things. It's uncommon for me to not see you at a public event. So, you're really out there. You're really doing it. You're really, you're really getting involved. And I think that is a big thing in order to be able for people to know, so that they know that this is not happening.
And I always say to people, I'm just a regular person. So I was like, I'm just a regular person, I'm just a regular person who lives in the community.
Who just happens to be.
I know, but I like people to know that I'm approachable and they can come and talk to me anytime.
That's all.
Well, Christina, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
I hope, when do I see you on the train next?
I'm going to be on the 9:15 on Monday. Because I got a couple interns that are riding in.
Okay, so you're getting them in via train.
I've got my interns all coming from North Andover.
And
we're all taking
start those good commuter skills now.
Yep,
maybe
we're going in on Monday as a little pack.
Oh, good for you. Yeah. Good for you. And we're going to now show you a clip. State Senator Bruce Tarr is going to be talking to our Veteran Services Officer, Joe LeBlanc. He interviewed him during North Andover CAM's grand opening. I watched that remotely. That was a really great interview, so enjoy it.
Hi, State Senator Bruce Tarr here, back with you from the North Andover CAM grand opening of the new Media Center here on Main Street. There have been lots of important people here today, Representative Minicucci, State Senator DeZoglio, and one of the most important is our Veteran Service Officer, Joe LeBlanc. Joe, aren't these facilities absolutely amazing?
Unbelievable, state of the art.
So today's a really busy day around North Andover, and you and I were just at another event that's very, very important in addition to this one, and that was the flag display put on by the Exchange Club. What an amazing event.
Field of Honor, which memorializes first responders, veterans, those deceased, those still living with us, and it was just a moving display.
My recollection is it was over 300 flags. I don't know if you recall the exact number.
350 flags.
350 flags. Yep. So impressive to see that. And it's got to be really moving for you as a veteran and someone who helps to keep the promise that our country makes to veterans every day, to see that kind of a display of patriotism, because there was a big crowd there as well.
Absolutely, and one of the things we saw, there was a lot of young folks here as well, and so we're teaching the next generation values. So the values of the American flag and what it means.
So one of the moving aspects of that ceremony was the commemoration of the 13 folds in the flag that the Boy Scouts did. They performed the folds and they had narration. And as a veteran in particular, that must mean a lot to you. And you might have seen that before. A lot of us don't get to see it very often, but that was pretty inspiring.
Yes, absolutely. And that was my first time seeing that as well. And hearing the narration, and it's just unbelievable.
It was a fantastic day. And you had a very special guest there with you.
I did. I had 100-year young Lieutenant Frank Karicki, who lives over at Ashland Farms. Grew up in North Andover, lived in Lawrence, and then moved back to North Andover. But he was drafted when he was 23 years old and was a lieutenant in the Engineer Corps. And he was building all those airfields in the Pacific leading up to the eventual victory over Japan.
Pretty amazing, and I know you formed a relationship with him. I know we recognized him together not that long ago over the winter, and it must be one of the more gratifying parts of your job to see people that have served and how much enthusiasm and patriotism they still have years after their service.
Unbelievable, unbelievable. And you know what's amazing is whenever I see a veteran, I always address them by their rank. And whenever I call him Lieutenant Karicki, he always snaps right to it, and he gives me a look. So it's very satisfying.
Very impressive individual, and we thank him for his service. I do want to point out that North Andover CAM is an important thing for all of us. And important for you, because many events that you do, I know we were just talking a moment ago about Memorial Day, it gets covered. Maybe if somebody's out of town, they can't see it, they can watch it on television here on local access cable. That's pretty important, isn't it?
Yes, they've been instrumental in helping us. They cover all our events. We've filmed a few of the military minute sessions where we'll have somebody come in and kind of give us their elevator speech, so to speak, the who, what, where, when, and why, what they do for a veterans organization that's right here in our backyard. So we've done a couple of those, and all that footage can be found right on our website at northandover.com. If you go into the Veterans tab, you can see all those, past filmings are in there.
Fantastic. So it's fair to say that North Andover CAM is making a real difference for veterans in the town as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yep.
Well, Joe, number one, we want to thank you for your service to our country. We also want to thank you for your service to our veterans on an ongoing basis. You do a phenomenal job. It's an honor for the legislative delegation to work with you, and really great to spend a couple of minutes here recognizing North Andover CAM with you.
They do great work.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. And that's another update here from the grand opening of the Media Center at North Andover Community Access Television.
Wow. All right, group 2, 11 to 16-year-olds. I need Elizabeth. No, this is wrong. I need Zachary. Jack will. Lockery. Dylan Prime. Catherine, I think it's right. Guiney? Am I saying it right? Wow. Maureen Guiney.
Hi, I'm Phyllis Jones, and welcome back again to our July 4th festival here on the Town Common. We still got a few more hours to go, so if you're watching us live, come on down. There are some great vendors here. We got a couple of contests going on, and we just had one of our pie eating contests. And we have sitting with us our blue ribbon recipient of the pie eating contest, Elizabeth Guiney. Elizabeth, thank you. What's the age bracket of the one that you won? Because I know they got a couple of different
7 to 10.
7 to 10 years old. And what grade are you? And you said you're going into 5th?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, pie eating, that's an interesting thing. Why eat the pie eating contest?
I don't know. It just seemed like fun because we really haven't done a lot of festival things with the town because we usually go someplace with our cousins or something like that. And
so it was something fun to do.
Yeah, there's always something fun to do. It's not like we're just sitting at home.
No.
We went to our cousin's house and did something or went on a trip.
So this is something different to do
Yeah,
today.
it's something different.
And it's fun. It's fun. I like going out there. My son's out there somewhere. In fact, you beat him. He was in the same one. It's okay. It's okay. So, did they have different flavored pies?
No, it was all blueberry. It's all
blueberry.
going to be blueberry.
Okay.
I don't generally like blueberry, but I really wanted to win this contest, so I didn't eat dinner. I didn't eat breakfast. So I'd be hungry and I would just eat it anyways.
Now, I mean, because, your hands are tied behind your back and everything.
They're not tied. You just have to hold
you
them
keep them behind your back. So what was your way of doing it? Did you start at the edges and work your way in, or did you just stick your mouth in and work your way out?
I took a huge bite out of the middle, chewed that, and swallowed it, and it was relatively deep, so it took 2 tiny bites, because tiny, quick, medium-sized.
And how big are using your hands roughly, how big are the
They're
pies?
that big.
Okay, so they're
relatively small, but
maybe not
kinda,
single serving, but close enough.
Yeah.
But close enough.
Could serve 2 people, maybe, if they're not that hungry.
What was your official time? Do you know?
I don't know. It was just first come, first serve, and you win first place.
And you won first place.
Yeah.
You want to show everybody that ribbon there? And you got an American flag, and you got some cash out of the deal, and what do you have, a little certificate showing?
I don't know.
Don't
I
take it
haven't
apart.
opened it.
Probably a certificate
Yeah, I just
congratulating you.
saying, oh, you won the pie
eating contest.
Ages 7 to 10.
You got anything special coming up this summer?
Not really, just vacation and stuff, cleaning the house.
Well, thank you for joining us, Elizabeth. It was great. Hopefully you'll enjoy what you got there, and watch the sweets the rest of the day. You got enough blueberries in your system to probably last you a week. So thank you so much, sweetheart, for coming on. And come on down and watch the festival. Alice Jones. Welcome back. We're still down here on the Town Common covering our July 4th festival. Come on down. There are a bunch of vendors down here. It's great and very enjoyable. We are now joined by Jack Lotry. Did I pronounce that? Lockery. And he has won a different level of our pie eating contest for the 11 to 16-year-olds. You hungry still?
No.
You like blueberry pie?
Not anymore.
How big was the pie? With your fingers, show me as best as you can.
Like this big, half the size of a regular pie.
Half the size of a regular pie. Ooh, that's a lot of pie. Ooh. Now you go to school.
Yes.
You're at NAMS?
Yeah.
What grade?
I'm going into 7th.
Going into 7th. My son is going to be going into 6th. You're going to have to take a look out for him. Maybe take him under your wing a little bit. Now, have you done the pie eating contest before?
I have. I did it 2 years ago, and I am a returning champion.
Wow. So you got another one of those at home, huh?
Yes.
Good for you. Good for you. And what'd they give you? What'd they give you? Cool trophy.
Cool trophy, certificate,
yep.
A blue ribbon, and some cash money.
Maybe like 20, 25 bucks
Yeah.
kind of a thing. Now, where you're a returning champion, what you gonna do with that one? You gonna start stacking trophies and certificates?
Yes.
Good for you. Good for you. That's a fun thing to kind of do. What are you doing this summer? Are you going anywhere special? You hanging around town and having fun with your family?
I'm staying local. I hang out at my grandparents' pool a lot. Just hanging out with friends.
You know what? Enjoy it while you can. Because pretty soon Mom and Dad's going to tell you go get a job for the summer.
Mm-hmm.
So enjoy it while you can. I think you got your grandfather out there if you want to wave off to him.
Hi, Papa.
Well, you enjoy the rest of your summer, Jack.
Thank you.
Thank
You
you
too.
for joining us, and good luck. Hope to see you again next year with that pie eating contest.
Thank you. I do too.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Good afternoon, my name's Andy Furman. I'm here with the North Andover Merchants Association at the Sheep Shearing Festival. The North Andover Merchants Association is an organization, a business organization made up of over 100 North Andover businesses. We really support the local community through a number of initiatives. The farmers market, this year we're excited the artisan market's coming back. A really cool thing we had this year was a junior merchants festival over at the youth center about a month ago. That was a huge success, really supporting some of our younger business-oriented individuals. This year we also gave away over $6,000 for high school seniors in terms of scholarships, but we also really support the local business community, and through that community involvement support a stay local, shop local mentality. It's wonderful to get the local merchants and businesses involved with the community, but we also want the community to understand the importance of staying local and shopping locally. And the more that we do that, the more our businesses are able to support the community. So it's really a great organization, a great way to be involved in the community and support the local businesses. Yeah, so Small Business Saturday, this past year we ran a really successful program in conjunction with the town with a gift card promotion. It was a really great way to support the businesses. So Small Business Saturday, looping right in with the Santa Parade and the other festivities of the season. It's perfect. Interested business can go to our website, northandovermerchants.org. You can Google us. Can also follow us on Facebook and sign up through that way. And a really great way to get involved in the local community. So we welcome all small businesses. Residents can join as well if they're interested. Our meetings are every month, the first Tuesday of the month. Usually at the Senior Center, 6 p.m. We're always partnering with the festival committee, whether it's the sheep shearing, whether it's we run the fall festival in the fall, the Santa Parade. We're also involved with coloring books with the fire department and several other scholarships, our sports scholarships supporting youth in town that would like to play a sport but can't financially make that means, so we like to make that happen for them as well. So a lot of great partnerships throughout many organizations with town and all the other organizations as well.
So what we decided to do was in the areas where it was really heavily affected, we figured what the problem we were worried about was the mixture of gas.
We got a third place winner right here.
Being right for to cut down on
You got to see this gentleman over here, first, second, and third for your names. And then you got to see the gentleman for the paper to give them your names. Nice job. Let's hear it for everybody. Come on, let's hear it for them. Nice job.
Only those areas. Actually, you look at it, you notice you run the whole town. Run the whole town.
Well, sheep shearing is one of the most physically, hard-working jobs on earth, physically taxing. The guys in New Zealand say it takes 10 years or 10,000 sheep to learn how to do it, and most of us feel that's true. And I've done, over a couple 100,000. So I've done my 10 years and 10,000, that's for sure.
And how many sheep shearing festivals here in North Andover have you done?
Oh, we were just talking about it. The first one I did Good Morning America from here during the war on Kosovo. So that's got to be 20, 25 years anyway, since I started doing it here.
And what do you particularly like about this North Andover Sheep Shearing Festival?
Well, it's what we do. I do 18 days at the Big E too, and it's just the people are so far from their food and from their clothing, where it comes from, and it's just getting them back down to earth and educating the kids that wool on your sweater really came from an animal, and we didn't hurt the animal to get it either. Nobody actually has the intent of becoming a professional sheep shearer. Basically what happens is somebody comes to shear your sheep and does a terrible job, and you say, gee, I can do that better, and you meet somebody who can teach you, and then depends how far you want to go. I've done 8 New Zealand schools at Cornell, and that's how I learned how to do it. But it's all about doing the numbers.
What do you think an event like this means for the community?
Well, I think it's great because, it brings the people in to see the local agriculture that's here, or they hear about some of the local agriculture that they may not even realize exists, and gets the kids close to the animals. And realize too many people just don't realize that the relationship between the farmer and the animals and the soil and the whole 9 yards.
You just need him to rake.
So he comes here and does some editing on the computer. At least it's useful editing than doing
When you think of the greatest upsets in sports, Giants over Patriots, UMBC over Virginia, and USA Hockey over Russia are just a couple that come to mind. Albeit this one is much smaller, there was a major one in Massachusetts high school sports tonight as the 8-seeded North Andover Scarlet Knights baseball team defeated the St. John's Preps Eagles 6-0 and clinched the 2019 MIAA Baseball Super 8.
Jake Mcelroy fields the routine grounder and tosses it to Jackson Burbridge for the final out, ending the game and giving the Knights their first Super 8 title.
Oh, it feels great. You know, we've done well in the past few years and played a lot of good teams, lost to some, beat some, but it's good to kind of, you know, show that we can play with the big boys.
The Knights got on the board quickly in the first, with Sebastian Keene driving in Thomas Finn with an RBI double. Going back and forth with the prep for the next several innings, it wouldn't be until the 6th inning when Eric Whitehead ripped a shot into deep left field, driving in Brett Dunham and standing up at second. From there, the Knights looked locked in.
I saw it off the bat and I was like, is that going out? Like, I don't know, I was feeling myself. And then, I don't know, just when I got to second base, I exploded with emotion. Like, just, it felt so good.
Red Sox draft pick Keene took the ball in the 7th inning, and after getting himself into a bases-loaded jam, struck out leadoff hitter Brady O'Brien to end the inning. He pitched a scoreless final 2 innings and finished the Super 8 with 29 strikeouts through 18 and a third innings.
I didn't feel too good in the first inning, so the next inning I went and just stretched a lot more, did a lot more band work. Felt great the next inning, and then just did the job and then got the win. So, I don't know, it's a great way to finish the season.
This game was also the final chapter in the North Andover Athletics career of Jake Mcelroy, quarterbacking the Knights to a Super Bowl victory, becoming the second 1,000-point scorer in North Andover basketball history, and now captaining a baseball program to a Super 8 title. There's no disputing McElroy's place in the pantheon of North Andover athletes.
It was a great ride. I had great coaches and teammates, and they helped me out. I didn't do it by myself or anything, so, and then it was great to end it off like this.
After first-round exits the previous 2 years and barely squeaking into the Super 8 this year, the Knights' immaculate title run was one that was ripe in the making. In truth, calling this title an upset does the Scarlet Knights a great disservice, as beating 4 of the top 5 teams and outscoring them by 3 times speaks for itself. This was no Cinderella story. This was a freight train that finally docked.
I think you could tell from early in the regular season that we were special, and because we'd win tight games and we'd get the bounces at the end of the games, and that's how I knew we were special come down the stretch, and we really turned it on in the Super 8, and that was awesome.
The 8 seed nobody wanted in the Super 8 wins the entire thing without a loss. I mean, oh, yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
I don't even know how to say everything. Like, just thank you to everyone that came here, supported us from the beginning. It was a great team win. Like, this is the greatest feeling ever. Being a state championship is my last season. I'm done with high school. It's kind of crazy. I don't know. Just so much is going on in my head.
Congratulations to these guys. I will miss them tomorrow. It's more than anything else. I will miss them. They loved to practice, and I try to end practice. They'd be like, "No, we want to keep going. You want to do the hits game? Yeah, we're doing the hits game today." That kind of group. So I will miss them dearly.
Ladies and gentlemen, again, another big round of applause.
From Haverhill Stadium, I'm Sam Murray.
Hi, I'm Phyllis Jones, and welcome back to our July 4th festival coverage through North Andover Cam. We're down here on the Common. I think the festival goes on until about 4 o'clock. So come down and join us. We got a couple of hours left. Right now, we've got on camera, not off camera, Brian Frazier, who is the director of North Andover Cam, and he makes all of this happen.
We try.
Brian, thank you for coming on camera with us.
I'll promise to try not to pay too much attention to the control room while I'm out here.
Your people can handle it for 5 minutes.
They do all the work. Don't forget, they do it all. I just stand in the background.
Actually, you do a lot more than just stay in the background. You are responsible for bringing in a brand new studio.
We are so excited about the studio.
All right, you know I do a program called Ability Assistance, and most of that first season we were in that small studio at the high school. Works well, great, but you were always kind of like this. There was no place to hang your coat and everything. That new studio, oh my God, to let out my inner New York. I mean, just the studio itself probably is the same size of what the entire North Andover Cam existed to, or pretty much, at the high school. You know, for those who missed the grand opening, what can you tell? You walk through the door and you see what?
So we have a nice big studio, a big location now. When you walk in the door, you see the staff, and you see all the staff. Before we were spread out. So a couple employees here, a couple employees there, and inevitably, you know, 2 people would be synced up and the other 2 wouldn't, and it's a little bit more organic now. So everybody's kind of in the know. Everybody's there available to help people, you know, whatever the need. So we're all skilled in the craft, and one of us is going to have the time to work with anybody who walks in the door, which is one of the big benefits of the new location. Is we get a lot of people walking in off the street now.
That's great.
They see the sign, they go, "What is this? What's a community media center?" And they come up,
and that's what it's all about.
It's very
So I walk in the front door. You've got a conference room that is open to the public to utilize, right?
Yes.
Obviously, appointment, so that you know that, you know.
We're trying to make it a full community center. We're trying to serve the community in a number of ways, whether it's through television broadcast or just a meeting space. Again, it's centrally located down on Main Street.
Yes,
so
in that new building that they built.
The old Bradstreet School.
Yep.
There's a mural downstairs that kind of reflects on the old school that was there, so it's nice. I recommend people go down and just check that out, because it's a little tribute to the yesteryears.
It's always good to remember the yesteryears. So mind's eye, because I've been there. So you got the bullpen area where everybody works. You've got the conference room. Now we turn into the left, and we've gone in a little bit. We've got to our left a full service.
We have a kitchen set, so we can do a full cooking show with real appliances. So it's a full cooktop, not hot plates.
Yep.
A whole island for prepping and chopping.
Looks better than my kitchen.
We get that a lot. People come in and they say, "Wow, I wish my kitchen was like this." It is set up like a set, though, so it's not as ergonomic as some of the kitchens are, but it's tailored for TV shows. So we're excited for either staff cooking shows on Friday, and we'll kind of wheel
I heard from my daughter maybe Mondays we're going to have cookies there.
We're going to do cookies once a week so that we can entice people. We're going with the theme park method of just wafting some smells around and seeing if we attract anybody.
Let the vultures fly when they see food.
Exactly. So kitchen set, a general purpose area space where we've already had the PTO presidents meet with the superintendent there. We have PTOs that are looking to hold at least one meeting there so that their PTOs will see the space.
Excellent.
The triad group that kind of talks about safety precautions for the gears around senior citizens, but it's really about town safety and emergency services. They meet there regularly now, which actually frees up space at the senior center, because they've been holding it in a program space at the senior center, and they're busting at the seams. They're getting a new building, and So that alone just freed up a once a month room for the senior center, and we'll continue to host as long as they're welcome to be there. So we have a multi-purpose space for bigger meetings. The conference room holds about 10 to 12 people. Has what do you call it, a smart TV so that you can project things and work collaboratively.
Whenever I'm walking through there, I see, you've got the 3 big TVs showing, whatever's going on live on those stations, and you've constantly got things going on, so you know what's going on in the studio whenever anything is going on.
Which is nice.
So we walk down a little further, and on our left we have the new control room.
New control room.
Oh my God.
In the old space, the control room was also the master control room, which was basically a server room to most people. And that just whirs and there's noise. Bill and Ray, that was their office. So they shared an office with whirring machines. It's hard to do business. It's hard to be creative.
Exactly.
Right? We're in a trade craft business here, and you want to get creative. It's hard when it's all kinds of noisy, and maybe you put your headphones on or whatnot. But it's, it was tough. And now having the control room be the control room, you can hear the TV program that you're producing. You can spread out. We have multiple stations so that everybody can have their own station.
3, right?
There's a total of 6 possible stations in the control room.
In the 3 rows, because it's 3 rows.
Exactly. So the producer and the director can have their own spot if it's a big enough crew.
No, and I can tell you again how we've got kids coming in from Greater Lawrence Tech who work our show, and when we had a training session for them because they were used to the old studio, and they walked into that control room, oh my God, it was like watching a kid on Christmas morning. They didn't know what to do with themselves. They were just in total awe of the situation. And instead of a little glass window that you would see for the set, you've actually got everything up on cameras.
Right.
And then the studio itself is huge.
Yeah. So it's probably one of the top 5 sized cable access studios. I've seen just about all of them. Stoneham has a 40 by 40. We're 40 by 30, so we're right in the top.
Wow,
that's top 3.
So that'll give people, if they want to do something in terms of a program, some real space to do it in.
It's the size of a professional soundstage.
So that means a lot, because if you want to do a news program, you have some space to do that. If you want to do a talent show, you actually have some space for whoever wants to do
a little
talent.
Bit of audience, a little bit of audience in the same room.
Exactly. No, in fact, when we had the annual meeting, everybody was in there.
And comfortable this time.
Exactly.
Not sardines.
Not sardines. We weren't all sitting on each other's laps.
Sure. Yep.
So no, it's and you have lighting capabilities that you did not have at the old.
Energy efficient, all LED lighting, multicolor RGB lights that can, instead of climbing up on the ladders to change the colors, you can do it with a kind of a push of a button now.
Now over at the, I'll call it a control panel. It's not really a control panel inside the studio where you can't see it off camera.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, because it was great, because I walked in there the first time, and my daughter knows I love green, so she picked out this perfect tinge of green for me. And I mean, you guys could just sort of like with a computer, really get that correct hue of color that you really loved.
So the transition in a nutshell, this is what I say the most.
Yep.
We were in 1,400 square feet at the high school, which served its purpose.
Yep.
But when I came on board, we started growing and growing and growing. 1,400 square feet, 400 was hallway, bathroom, and foyer.
That doesn't leave a whole heck of a lot
so
for anything
else. So for the
else.
remaining 1,000 square feet of space, about 70% of that could be checked out by the membership.
Okay.
Right? Your studio, your control room, that gets checked out. So that leaves about 300 square feet to run the business. Not conducive. When we put those numbers together for one of the franchise agreements, it was eye-opening, and it helped motivate the board and get everybody all on the same page as far as looking for a new space. Too many combined spaces. In the old space, it was the studio with edit bays.
Yep.
So you couldn't always use them to their full capacity.
Because if somebody was doing a program, you can't edit another program, which is where if you weren't in the studio and you walked a little bit further past the control room, you have several edit bays, and then all that equipment that was making so much noise is tucked away in a couple little closet.
Nobody needs to hear about it.
Exactly.
It's behind a door, and when we go in there, we need to go in there. That's fine, but nobody else needs to hear that stuff.
And that just leaves people so much of an ability to be creative. and to come in and to do something. And you are our community television, so people can come in and be creative and let their inner creation out.
Right. North Andover Cam runs all 3 channels in the town.
Yep.
So the GovCam, which is the government channel, Cam Ed, which is the school or education related channels.
Yep.
Channel. And then the public access channel. Other towns are different. Some access centers only run public access. We run all 3 channels, schedule them accordingly for the school system and the government one.
And you also show things like the Board of Selectmen's meeting, and you went live during the town meeting.
That's our Emmys.
That's your Emmys?
That's our biggest show. So we want that to go as smooth as possible.
Sometimes it's the biggest show down on. And you also will have the ability for people who do podcasts.
Yes. Yep. And that's that's coming back. Podcasts are more mainstream now than they were when they originally came out. It's kind of coming right back around.
And for somebody who's interested in doing a video show that has a lot of audio to it, you can then assist in just taking the audio and turning that over to a podcast.
I hear some producers doing that. I'm not sure.
We're doing it on ability assistance.
There you go. But what an opportunity, right? So
No, it
the
is.
technology's there. Just take one created product
and it's, membership is not that expensive.
Nominal. Yep. So individual memberships $20. Organizations like a nonprofit $75. We do have for-profit business memberships that are $150. After that, it's free.
It's free.
It's time. So, and I understand that time is, pressing on everybody, but think of, the thousands of dollars in marketing that you'd have to spend to produce a commercial or anything like that.
Exactly.
We have enough talent and knowledge base professionally. I have broadcast experience from my past. I lit all the TV stations 4, 5, 7. I helped out with the Bruins set.
Wow.
Lighting, broadcast lighting is what I do. My background, acquisition, cinematography, that type of thing. Other staff members are versed in editing and pre-planning and whatnot. So, we have the skill set here to make anybody's production as well as they want it to be.
And like I said, I can tell you from personal experience, you guys, my vision to you was I wanted something that was a talk show. I sort of equated it to an Ellen where, it was a talk show and people could just have a conversation back and forth and forget about everything else. And you were able to do that for me because you guys have the talent to be able to do that.
You've had some high-profile guests on your show, too.
Yeah, we're working on a couple more for the fall already.
There you go.
We're working on a couple more for the fall. And that goes again to, we're a town commission. We can bring programs to people that way. That's a throw out for other town committees and town commissions who want to do something but don't necessarily think other people might show up.
Right.
But it's an informational type. Put a show together. You guys will help them.
Absolutely.
You've been working with me for over a year and getting it done.
Yeah. And our proximity to town hall is actually a little bit easier. For the town officials to come down
and there's plenty of parking.
Yep.
It's
parking behind the building.
Parking behind the building, and you're right in downtown, so it's easy to get around.
Yeah, the access and the exposure is, fantastic.
Fantastic. Now, aside from just doing programming, you folks are also involved in the community in other ways.
We run a lot of workshops. Is that where you're leading me?
Yeah.
Okay. Because we do events with
like
all the
this,
town.
Exactly.
We seem to be everywhere. We were at the road race this morning. We're always trying to support a little bit outside our realm. Like even for the road race, it was just sound support. We have the technology, so we're making it available to other groups. So, but yeah, we have workshops. We have workshops this summer. We have summer workshops.
For the kids.
For
Let's
the kids.
First start the summer media workshops.
Summer media workshops. It's going to cover music videos, stop motion, Photoshop, YouTube. One of the challenges we have with community television is it used to be a novelty.
Yep.
Shooting, editing, that whole production process. Now they have it in the power
palm of their hand.
Their hand. They can do everything we do, except for there's a knowledge base. There's an expertise. There's a purpose for every part of the production.
Yeah, you
know?
can't learn everything on a YouTube video.
Right,
Some of
exactly.
it you have to actually
Exactly.
learn.
And that's what we offer is the skill
No,
set.
and I think, you know, here's a plug for it. My son did it, you know, back on April vacation week. He's going to do one of your weeks again this summer once summer school lets out for him. And he was all excited about it. He was all excited about it. And, you know, I know my daughter loves it when she gets involved and, you know, she helps teach, you know, and help the kids get their hands on. And that's another opportunity that people have.
Internships.
Internships and volunteers, even if it's 1 hour once a month to try to learn how to do something, and then when you need somebody, you know, that maybe the kid likes sportscasting. So they want people to help at televising the football game, for example. Then that child can get involved, teenager, you know, college student can get involved and do that. And then you have more hands-on people who have a knowledge base because you've trained them, that you can then have them help even further.
What we do is fun. We have a blast. You know, I'm a geek. I love video. I love video production. I don't watch a ton of TV, but I love making it. It's just fun. But at the end of the day, it's skill. It's job skills.
Yes.
So whether it's a youth or an adult, there's not one industry or one career that you don't need video on your websites now, or your Twitter feeds, or your Facebook. It's a media world, and everything we do here only opens the door to that for people down the road.
And that's so important, because I know a lot of people can be scared sometimes of the way I mean,
when you go in that control room, it's a scary looking room.
Oh, it is.
It is not. It's a bunch of really simple things all put together. It looks scary.
But for
It's
people,
very
you
intimidating.
know, I think you and I are roughly the same age, where we kind of grew up with computers, so for us it isn't really a big deal. But you know, you've got somebody who's a little older who may not have grown up that way, or you know, never had the job where they had to deal with computers. You know, even something as simple as hooking up your TV. You know, you guys have workshops for that too.
So we have. Let's go. We're all over the place. We love to talk. So summer workshops, we have two options. One's July 22nd to the 26th for youth summer workshops, and then August 19th to the 23rd. And same thing, that just runs the gamut. It'll go over those things that we mentioned before.
And they're wicked cheap before you go on to the next. You know, a week for a member is how much?
$200.
And a week for a non-member?
$225.
You know,
that's a premium.
That's not only that. I mean, I can't, and that's a full day thing, right?
It's full day, yeah.
So you know, I send my kid in with a boxed lunch. And I drop them off in the morning, and I pick them up in the afternoon. And for a week, they're at summer camp.
And they're busy. They're busy all day long.
And they're busy, and they're doing something. That's cheap to send a kid for summer camp for a week.
Absolutely.
It really, really is. So I mean, you know, like I said, as a parent who's got a kid there, I would definitely plug that.
And we love to have all of them.
You know, and then you've got the other
then we
workshops.
do what we love to do is just open workshops up to the public. So some kind of like handy dandy workshops that we all deal with. We had getting yourself connected, which could be entertainment centers, you know, hooking up. I don't even know if there's VCRs out there anymore, but some, you know,
Hey, I got
sometimes
one in my house still.
you know, just connecting these new TVs, the smart TVs, or connecting your device to your TV. A lot of these items are smart. I was in the appliance store the other day, and your refrigerator now has a screen on it. So it's, you know.
I had to shop for a new washing machine a couple of months ago for, you know, the clothes wash. And they're like, and we've got one that has an app. And I'm like, really?
Yep.
I could do my wash remotely, but you can't transfer it to the dryer. So.
Exactly. So, so services like that, the TV studio in your pocket, we kind of talked about that. We all have the smartphones that can take video, and real quality video.
Yeah.
You know, it's high. You know, you can. The newscasters are using that phone footage that people send in because it's that high quality, but doing it right. And you know, our pet peeve, like, you know, don't shoot your video like this, because everybody's TVs look like this, not like that. So they're little tips and tricks, that type of thing.
Yeah, but no, I really think that more community members need to know about it. More community members need to know you're always looking for volunteers for different things. And like you said, it's real world experience.
like I said, it can be used anywhere.
It can be used anywhere. Video editing, even something as simple as, you know, for a high schooler who can't get a job because they're too young to necessarily work in the area. Something as simple as showing up to an internship twice a week to know I have a responsibility to be here, and then when I get here, I have a responsibility to do something. Another thing you guys do, the community boards.
Yep, the bulletin boards, yep.
You know, any member of the community can
Get their notice out there, yep.
You know, produce an electronic billboard and put something up there. Obviously, it has to be, you know, appropriate kind of a thing. But, you know, if you're having a local fundraiser for the PTO, for example, you can put a bulletin board right out there, and that's free advertising.
Just today, the Lions Club said that they had put their advertisement on our bulletin board for their comedy stop, their comedy fundraiser. And they said they had a lot of people say they saw it on the bulletin board, and they had a great turnout.
You know what? That's what's important. Well, thank you for coming in front of the camera.
Yes.
Instead, you know, you do a fantastic job behind the camera, and we love having you there. But it's also great to have you in front of the camera so that people know why why we have what we have behind the camera.
The one thing I'll finish with for my last words is we're a membership organization. So covering events in the town takes volunteers.
Yep.
We just talked about how fun it is and all the job skills.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, these community television stations, they're what I like to say, channeling community spirit.
Yes.
Right? So there's a lot of fun stuff that happens in the town, you know, very towny type of things, but like there's a lot that people don't know about, whether it's the local sports hero or the baseball teams going to the finals and win. You know, nobody that's outside the school.
Didn't the pitcher sign with the Red Sox or something?
Yeah, we had a Red Sox sign our high school pitcher this year. We just happened to have a volunteer that was covering baseball this year. So my take on that is if you cover the sports for us, somebody will go to the Red Sox, or somebody will go to the professional. I mean, it had to be the reason. But channeling community spirit. I mean, let's get as much content from North Andover on TV, and show what this town's made out of.
Yes.
You know, and there's a lot of good causes. There's a lot of worthy causes that people don't know about, alongside the fun stuff. You know, so.
No, I know personally working with you guys is also so easy. You know, you've got my daughter there. I always like to say it all started with a donut in order to get her behind the camera. But
food is a motivator.
Yes, food is definitely a motivator.
Thus the kitchen set.
Exactly. But, you know, she's now there a couple of days a week during the summer full time, and then, you know, she comes back during the school year to work a few hours a week.
She's been a great help.
But she's learned so much. And that's the other thing too. You guys, technology-wise, are right on par. I mean, she does graphics communications at Greater Lawrence Tech, and she already knows a higher level software of the same software name than the kids are using in school.
Gotcha.
You know, so you guys, people need to know, yeah, you're community television, but
we are state of the art at the moment.
You are state of the art. You are, if it's needed, you have it. So
we try and stay on that cutting edge because of that. The technology changes so fast, and so do the TV stations. So if that's the industry you're going in, we want to make sure that we're competitive in that.
Yeah,
in that field.
my father used to say, if you don't get on the technology bandwagon when you start at that age, you'll miss it completely because it's going to go straight ahead and it's going to change at a moment's notice.
So come on down.
Yes.
Come volunteer and have fun. It's all kinds. All kinds of exciting.
Thank you so much, Brian.
Thanks for doing this. Thanks for dragging me on.
I needed somebody to talk to. And join us next. We're going to have some footage from this morning's road race. Have fun and enjoy it.
I got to. I know we're off.
Are we out?
Yeah. Mike's on. Mike's on. I got to interview Ray Bork this morning.
Really?
He was starting the little kids race today.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Give it up for the River Sisters. Okay. Asking all the runners to...
Sure, I'm Glenn Johnson. I live on Salem Street in North Andover, and I had been a reporter for 30 years and was working for the Boston Globe in 2013 when John Kerry called and asked me if I wanted to work with him while he served as Secretary of State. And so I took the job offer and spent the next 4 years traveling all around the world with him. At the end of the time, we've been to all 7 continents, 91 countries, 1.5 million miles, and so I decided when I came back to write a book about it. And so the book answers everything from the mundane, you know, what kind of plane do you fly on, who pays for your hotel rooms, to the more esoteric about diplomacy, how it's conducted, some real case studies of Middle East peace talks, the Iran nuclear deal, climate change we saw everywhere from the North to the South Pole. And so the book is about diplomacy as illustrated by these experiences over those 4 years.
Yeah. And your name again?
Yeah, my name is Glenn Johnson, and the book's title is Window Seat on the World. And it's available on Amazon, so if people want to get it there, they can.
My first year in 1979-80, I lived Heritage Green Apartments on 125, so I've been around North Andover from day one. I used to go to a loft all the time. One of my best friends is Paul Davis. They used to own a loft. We were there all the time. Al Secord, Brad McCrimmon, Dwight Foster lived in those apartments as well. So ever since then, I've been in Danvers, Boxford, Topsail.
Hey, Tom.
Back in Boxford. It's been 40 years now, and I work out at Choice Fitness on 125 in North Andover, so never left. Great area. Tom Papineau asked me if I could start the kids run this morning, and I said yes, and I'm here, and I ran. I'm still alive. My legs are killing me, but it was a lot of fun, great day. 4th of July, it doesn't get better than that. I am an American. I became a citizen in 1996, and I'm proud of it. So happy 4th to everybody.
People give you that all the time if you're a
No. Yeah, he's aged.
Where are the people? Can you just walk across?
Can you hear you?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
You know we got that thingy.
That thing, everybody hears you. Trash barrel right there. The other one.
Jimmy's coming.
What am I doing? No, because I don't know much about it.
I'll walk around with you.
Jackie, you're going to stay here, or you're going to walk around with me for a few minutes? You don't touch anything. You don't annoy anything.
Hello, welcome back to Town Common here in North Andover, 4th of July festivities. We are wrapping it up for the day. There's been so many things going on here with Jim from the festival committee, and all the people have put so much work into these activities here. Starting off last night with the fireworks and then
fantastic.
Continuing today with the road race. And what are some other activities you had planned here today?
Today, we already finished most of the activities. All right, we did that pie eating contest, which is a real success. I mean, the kids had a really great time. Had some messy faces.
Oh, yes.
You were in the pie eating contest.
I was the first year in the pie eating contest. I've never done it before, and I've always said, let's try this out. So there I was, face deep in the pie.
You did good.
I did good. I probably came in, I think there were 7 adults in that category. I think I probably was the oldest one, actually, to think about it, and I probably came in 6th or 7th.
Yeah.
I didn't finish, but I had a lot of fun. I got messy, and, you know, I'm going to get some strategies and maybe try it out next year.
That's what
Again.
counts, is having it fun. That's
Yes,
what it's all about.
it's all about having fun with the community, people you're with. They had the bikes and the
dog carriage parade
carriages.
and the
some
bike
kids-
parade. A lot of kids, a lot of nice decorated bikes. That's always a big success every year. The kids love that. They love it. It's not a race, it's a parade. They think it's a race though because they go down to see who goes down the fastest and get back the fastest.
Oh, definitely, they do.
And what's nice, everybody gets ribbons, these nice little ribbons. The kids love it. You know, it's a nice family thing. I mean, we do this every year. It's not an easy thing to do. The festival committee works really hard on this every year. We work hard on this. We work hard on the tree lighting, the Santa parade, and breakfast with Santa.
Oh, yes, I love breakfast.
I mean,
with
but
Santa.
volunteers, we need volunteers, just like North Andover Camp. They need volunteers. Without the volunteers, we can't do anything. Like this festival used to be 2 days. 4th of July used to be 2 days. Well, we had to cut it down to 1 day because we don't have the volunteers to help us.
The manpower to do it all.
It's hard. It's hard. It really is. It's a lot of work to be done.
Oh,
I mean, we planned this months and months and months ahead of time.
Yes.
We do sheep shearing first, which is a big festival. I mean, it's been around for a long time.
Yes.
A lot of people. And right after that is the 4th of July, so we have to jump in from sheep shearing to 4th of July.
Yes.
I mean, it's fun though. It keeps us busy.
Yes.
But like I said, it's a lot of work.
Keeps you busy, it keeps the community together, it keeps everybody looking forward to the next activity that's going to happen.
Right. But I would love to have this 2 days again. I mean, if we can get enough volunteers, and you know, it's hard to get food vendors on the 4th of July, and today a lot of people go away, you know?
Yes.
It's not like it used to be. But I would love to bring it back like it used to be here. You know what I mean? Games for the kids.
Yes.
I mean, I tried, and it's just hard to do. That's all. It's
It
very
is.
hard.
It's hard to get that done, and people go away. They go to where the water is, cool off, pools, ocean, and stuff, camping.
Yep.
So, but if you don't have that luxury, then you still have your nice community thing to
Right,
celebrate
right.
with the family.
Right.
Because some people can't go away, and to have something here
In the town,
for them
right.
in the town, it's good. To,
I love doing things here in
keep
the town.
community together. So how do you think the day went today?
I think it went pretty good.
Yeah, there
It
was
went
a
pretty
lot-
good. It was warm. It wasn't super hot.
Yeah.
I mean, the crowds were light, but there were people.
Yeah.
So I think it went all right for a 4th of July. It went nice.
Yeah,
It went
yeah.
nice.
There's a nice flow of people, a nice breeze here on the Common.
Yep.
You know, nice music, a lot of nice vendors that did come out.
Right.
For people to buy some artwork, and also there's some food, face painting, hair weaving. So there were a lot of different things.
Things for the kids.
And
That's what you need. Yep.
The horses, you know, the kids always
Yeah.
love
They
to have a
love-
pony
they love
ride
the
here and
ponies.
there.
Love the
You know,
ponies.
it's kind of like a nice experience for the kids to
Yeah.
be able to go for a horseback ride, you
Right.
know? And,
And the race today was a big success again.
Oh,
The Booster
yes.
Club that puts on that 4th of July race was a big success for them today.
Yeah.
You know, a little hot for them to run, but they did it. They did a good job.
I was just seeing the highlights of the kids coming in, and they look so proud of themselves,
Yeah.
you know? It's like gosh, to start that young.
Oh, yeah.
And exercising and, you know, being part of the community is good.
Yeah, definitely.
You see some families, they do it together every year. It's a family event, and
Sure is.
that's always nice to keep that going.
And the fireworks last night started off the weekend, the week for us for the 4th of July,
Oh, yes.
which was a fantastic show. If you didn't see it, you can catch it on the internet.
Oh.
It was unbelievable. The
Yeah.
show lasted like a half an hour, and if it wasn't for the sponsors that we have,
Right.
like Wheelabrator and Lowell 5, and we have some good sponsors
Yes.
that we raised the money for the fireworks.
Oh.
They did a good job.
It is. It's good. We always
gotta
have
thank everybody.
a lot of good sponsors, partnerships in North Andover that want to keep these activities going. So we
Yeah.
are always thankful for people who are able to volunteer their time, resources, and it really helps out so everybody can come down and have a good time.
Yeah, it was nice. Without that,
together.
we wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't
So
be
what
able to do
other
it.
some other upcoming things?
Well, the next
seems
up-
like you have a good break for a little bit.
We do have a nice break. That's what I like.
Yeah.
The rest of the summer, it's a nice break.
Yeah.
Then the fall comes, and we have to start planning for our Santa Claus parade,
Yeah.
which is in December.
Yes.
And that's a big thing.
It's a big thing, and you say you got to stop planning for it, but you start planning for it the day after the parade.
That's right.
You know,
and then right after that, we do our tree lighting.
the tree lighting.
And
Yes.
then after that, we do our Santa breakfast with Santa.
Okay.
It's like there's always something going on, you know?
Yes. Okay, so coming up, is there anything else you'd like to share with
No.
us today, Jim?
No, I think
it's always a
I
pleasure.
think we covered it all.
It's always a pleasure,
Thank you.
definitely.
Thank
so
you.
we're going to come up to the rail of the citation with our grand opening of our new studio, which is on 70 Main Street in North Andover. If you haven't had a chance to come out, come visit it, and we're going to give you a roll of that.
And it's a grand opening of the Bradstreet School location, and it's exciting. It's exciting to bring this end of the street back into a little bit of the commerce. It's a new beginning for this end of town, and hopefully it's going to be a great venture into the future. We have this farmers market starting tomorrow, so it's a good kickoff to the summer. But thank you. Thank you for everybody to be here.
Great job! So, Senator Tar and I are here. I'm Diana DeZoglio, one of the state senators for North Andover. Senator Tar is here as well. We just wanted to come out, along with Representative Minicucci, to present our citations on behalf of the state delegation to say congratulations on your grand opening. We were playing around in the green screen room. We got some great pictures on screen with some sheep in the background.
The sheep
amongst
shearing?
other sheep shearing, yep. Amongst other things that were really fun. But you're gonna have a great time here. We think that this is set up for a cooking show
We're ready.
in the future. So you guys give back to the community in so many ways, and we just wanted to say congrats on the grand opening right here in the heart of downtown North Andover on Main Street, making all the contributions that you make. We have these citations for you, so here you go.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
I'm learning about
Good work,
citations. I've seen you take it a million times, but thank you.
So it is good to be here and really great to see this revitalization of this part of Main Street and all the life that now is coming back, thanks to all of you. And it also is wonderful to see NORCAM getting these first-class facilities because you help us all to stay connected. We can't all be at everything that happens in the community. We try very hard, but we can always know that you'll be there and everybody will be able to see what's happening. And in that way, we are connected in a very real sense through this local cable access station. So we appreciate everything you do, all the technical stuff that is not glamorous and can be kind of a nuisance, but you always do it, you're always there, and we're always proud to be able to work with you and proud of you. And this is a great community. It has great community interest, and now it has a first-rate cable facility. It has always had a great cable station. So congratulations. We could thank
Thank you. We could not.
Christina wants to
Yes,
say
sir.
something.
Please.
You want to say something?
No.
I'm good with
I'll
that.
wrap it.
I'll tell you one thing. When they opened, they've been open for a while. This is the official grand opening. But I came in here, and they've been having this great program with Greater Lawrence Technical School, bringing kids in from the community and teaching them how to use the equipment and to be engaged and involved. And when I talk to those students, they are through the moon that they had this opportunity, and that's just one way that North Andover CAM has been giving back to students and giving back to our community. And so I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for continuing to give our children opportunities. I also have my own kids, and I know that they really appreciate this opportunity to be part of this community. And I am also thankful for the new place downstairs, because not only do they have delicious treats, which I just got to try, they have espresso, which is the elixir of life in my world. So I'm very thankful that, and many congratulations to all of you on opening your new place.
And we couldn't have done this without the support of our board of directors, with the selectmen, the town manager, the economic development team here in town. They pointed us in the right directions and supported us the whole way through. And without the support of the community as a whole, we couldn't be as effective as we are. So we're excited to be here, and we're looking for a great future. Awesome. Thanks, everybody.
We are our practices. Tribute to Santana. We're going to take a little 15-minute pause, and we're going to bring Caleb up to do a few songs for you. So give us about 2 minutes to set that up and enjoy the music. Thank you. Thanks for being here today. Happy 4th of July.
Sometimes he's good, sometimes he's a little loose.
I just love the time he's over aggressive and I just love the slumber. I just love the glory of that night because there's a contingent of us that taught us. And even they were like, man, I'm like, you used to yell at me for yelling at you guys. Already mic'd up. Like, see? You're here to play cards. It's okay to have a conversation.
Okay, we are coming live from North Andover Common. We are finishing up our show for today. Thanks to all who watched us. I hope you had a nice 4th of July. Here are some of the other volunteers. I'm Kathy, and I actually tried out the pie eating contest. It was fun. Had a really fun day. And here are other volunteers.
Somebody else will do it.
Phyllis Jones.
Zachary Ethan Jones.
Nick Kissel.
Carly Jones.
James Hill.
Okay, so we are signing out from North Andover. Happy 4th of July. Woo!
Probably December. And I was like, oh, I'm so happy to play. And then I got a second invite, and I was like, oh, I'm so happy not to be. It's like, Kathy, why? Why does he always call me when I got something to do? He calls me to play cards the night of my daughter's wedding.
Where are your priorities? Come on.
Well, for 9 months leading up to that wedding, all I kept telling my daughter was, you do realize that's my poker night, right? She's like, what? I said, that's my poker night. I don't miss poker night. Eric will be coming back from Houston, so he gets to play because he's